everyone, Merry Christmas, and welcome to a very festive edition of By the Numbers. I'm your host, Richard Lewis. With me, as always, every week, it is, of course, the world's leading CSGO analyst, Duncan Thorin Shields. No guest today, no Creamy Moses, so I think this will make for a great show, actually. How are you doing, Duncan?
Well, I mean, you said that as though you implied having Moses on the show makes it like less than a great show.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was. That's exactly what I was implying. Actually, it was a little sly dig at Moses.
Oh, okay.
I
myself, you know.
Yeah, so do I. But I mean, you know, I can't say. You know, I think we come in for a lot of undue criticism. Actually, like oh, you got to add Moses now. Like he's just got to be on the show every week. Oh, thanks, guys. Like the other 26, 27 episodes before were total dog shit. And on top of that, can I just say that everyone's favorite fucking League of Legends tyrant, fucking Nick Allen, said this was the worst esports show of all time, while on a show which is just three League of Legends cooks smelling their own farts and talking about how awesome they are. Incredible, isn't it?
I mean, by the way, before we even get into that, are you aware, Nick Allen, there's another By the Numbers show that's significantly worse than this one, so it's not even the worst By the Numbers.
Why
one's much worse, mate.
why
real? You know, real, recognized real. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but like he was talking about CS on that show as well. It was pretty excruciating. So I just want to, yeah, I know it was bad. He was talking about rifle nerfs as well, man. It was like yeah. Just anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that the package. It's all about the package, and yeah, it's just I don't know, respect. I think we've done a good job. This show was like a total punt in the dark. This probably is going to be maybe the last show of the year. You know, I think fucking yeah. I'm going to give myself and you a collective pat on the back. And fuck everyone else. That's what I
think it's a good show. I mean, put it this way: one of the things I've always thought was really overrated in esports is people who assign stuff like, "Oh, this game has lots of interviewers. Oh, it must be doing really well as a game." Actually, I've noticed the amount of people who watch and play the game has almost no relevance to how much content is produced in terms of the journalists in the scene. Like, think how huge CSGO is now. I mean, I can't mention the names of them because some of them are sponsored by other companies, but there is like one or two other talk shows, but it's still not that prevalent within the scene, considering we're now bigger than some games that had a number of talk shows for many years. StarCraft 2 for obvious reasons, you know. So I think we've done a pretty good job filling the niche that was obviously there was a vacuum in the community when we started.
Yeah, but I mean, so this was the key thing, wasn't it? You know, like we wanted to do a podcast like this. There was the HLTV podcast. I know you were kind of involved in that for a bit, and obviously you've done several kind of things that fill that niche, all the interviews, all of that stuff. But you know, they were talking about this. These three wise men of League were talking about how like there isn't any interviewers or great content creators in CSGO, and it was just fucking hilarious listening to this level of delusion and lack of awareness. Like Travis even said, he said, you know, who is the Travis of CSGO? Well, the thing is, we don't have a Travis because we have mainly competent interviewers and real journalists. So we don't have a Travis. Nor would we want one. But this idea that like these guys could just suddenly appear in CSGO and offer this new high level of content, it's like they've never watched any of the interviews in your channel. They've never watched any of the interviews I've done. You know, even recently at Cologne, you know, I was doing 20, 25-minute interviews. So yeah, I just thought, you know, what a ridiculous thing to say. And we got other content creators that are kind of coming up through the ranks that I think are doing a good job and are putting out real content that eclipses a lot of the shit that goes out in League of Legends, because we all know how problematic that is. We all know how you have to get approval and it's got to be signed off and you can't rock the boat. So I think CSGO probably has actually more legitimately good journalists writing about it, because you have that license and doing interviews and things like that, because you have that license and you have that carte blanche. The one thing it didn't have was kind of a weekly summary show, which, as you said, that was a niche we filled. So I say good job to us, and of course good job to Alphadraft.
One of the things that actually does trigger me about the fact that CSGO has gotten really big is that now you do get all these people who weren't involved in CS in any way. I'm not talking about at any point in their lives. Like a lot of these people from other games now can't even use that old thing we always used to hear back in the day. Oh, I used to play Counterstrike in 2005. Like that was bad enough, but these people can't even say that. And so unfortunately, you have to hear like the inane musings of people who have no clue what they're talking about. And all they literally do, no exaggeration, is take the worldview they have from their game and just place it over Counter-Strike and like think the same principles are at work. Like, well, of course, the growth of the game in this way has done that. And you're like, well, it hasn't, though. That's actually not the way that went at all. No, but yeah, you see the way the industry is going like, and yeah, what are you actually talking about right now, mate? You're one of those pigeons where they throw the machine gives out the pellet, but it does it at random, and the pigeon thinks that because it was stood on one foot, that's what makes the pellet of food come out, right? Well, no, in this case, it was just at random, mate. So some of the things they try and actually like break down, they're not even vaguely on point with them, I have to say. There's not. Like, there's some people have come in from other games. I mean, a good example is actually Semler. He didn't come from Counter-Strike at all. He came from a completely different game, Bloodline Champions.
Yeah.
I think via, like, Dota 2 and StarCraft 2 in some way, but obviously...
Yeah, because he was associated with a good studio, so yeah.
The difference is he actually embraced the game, shut the fuck up a bit at the beginning, learned a bit, and as a result now is an expert on the game. But if you did come into the game and think you're already an expert, well, you're never going to get anywhere at that point in time.
Yep. AD, man.
Hey, listen, he conquered Call of Duty and League of Legends, and you know how hard those scenes are. So
yeah, true,
I'm sure CS Gold's, third time's the charm.
Third time was a charm, wasn't it, brother?
To finally just fail outright.
Yeah, fucking safety's off tonight, man. Like, give a fuck. So anyway, I just think it's ridiculous. Like, obviously, I'm welcoming of anybody. I think it's disingenuous if you say that we don't want other people from other scenes to come in and pay attention to our scene. A lot of these people are hoping to have careers in esports. Well, if you anchor yourself to one game, obviously you're going to be fucked long term because games don't always last forever. So I have no issue about that. But it's like you say, shut the fuck up and just learn a bit about it. Learn a bit about the history, about the lay of the land, and don't just do the League of Legends content creator thing of looking whatever the biggest circle jerk on the subreddit is and then repeat that. I hate content creators and journalists that basically just they augment the echo chamber effect. They're too afraid to have dissenting opinions because they think they're just going to watch bags of money just fly out the fucking window. League can have all of those assholes. We don't need people like that in Counter-Strike, frankly, because it's a real scene. It's what makes it so good that people can express opinions and say what the fuck they want. And there can be trash talking game and there can be rivalries without some fucking overlord like North Korea just coming in and smoothing everything over for the sake of the children. So fuck that. Anyway, let's get back to the worst show. The worst esports show of all time. What I want to do is, because I said, for those that tuned in last week and those that saw on the Twitter, the tweet that was sent out, we're going to obviously do some awards. We're going to do some end of year awards. Man and Thorins awards are going to come today. And we've picked some interesting categories. I'm sure you're going to like some of them. And maybe we'll make up some categories. I still want to get to see, edgiest cunt. I want that award to be in there. But what we'll need to do first, I think, is get the news out of the way, and then we'll get into the awards. So I guess the story from the last couple of days, which I think are worth talking about, is Conquest. First of all, they lost their CSGO team, which is a shame for the organization. Nobody really knew anything about the organization. They were new. They kind of put this kind of bunch of NA misfits together, and it was starting to work. Me and you saw it in Ohio at the MLG CEVO finals. They were capable of mixing it up a little. They've been a bit inconsistent since then, and now they've said, we're going to keep that lineup together as a 5, but we're not going to be with Conquest anymore. So, first of all, some insight about this, because I think I can probably give some information that might surprise a few people about this story.
Well, I mean, the interesting part is that I saw it actually on Twitter because I follow Shazam, and he just said, we're not with Conquest anymore, and can people contact this email address if they want to sponsor us? So the funny thing is, if you see that, you would actually assume that they'd just been kicked, that the Conquest team was just get out, and then, because it's very rare that you'd leave an org and then think that you're going to get a better org, but be like, please email me if you want to sponsor my team. So does that not make you think it's that way around?
Well, I mean, maybe they're saying that, but I mean, they have had talks with other prominent organizations. There's no doubt about that at this juncture, and this is where it gets interesting.
I think it was publicly said by someone, wasn't it, that like Conquest their lineup had turned down TSM. I think it said.
Yes, and this is where it gets interesting. So we all know, obviously, TSM lost the Danish team. Now, TSM, they've got this agreement in place to be in this Eternal League, and I know we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But the first port of call TSM went to was this team, Conquest team, and they were looking to sort of assimilate Conquest into the organization, and whether that was going to be a kind of partnership with the existing Conquest management or not. I don't know how far down the discussion path they got, but this was going to be the team potentially representing TSM. Now, I don't know why a team like Conquest, this is where the story gets a little bit cloudy and fucked up for me. I don't understand how that team, because let's be honest, there's journeymen in that team. There's very, I'm loath to use the term average, but average and a professional standard players in that team. And then you've got players with untapped potential, like NAF or whatever. So for those guys to turn down TSM, I mean, that's like balls of fucking steel, right? That's like...
There's something weird going on there. That's why I say this all doesn't make sense. Because on the one hand, the way they're leaving Conquest looks like they were kicked, or Conquest couldn't afford them anymore and was just like, listen, we have to shut down the CSGO division. But then the idea that you don't have a team lined up because you're asking people to contact you, but then he turned down TSM, who, unless they made some crazy lowball offer, almost certainly must have been a higher offer than when I think of, like, well, for example, Conquest. Like, I don't know that fucking organization. Unless they go to some big org, odds are it's not going to be better than TSM. So it's a very weird scenario, actually. I'm not sure what's going on.
So, I mean, I definitely heard that. I heard that at the time. The intel was good. I had no reason to dispute it, but it wasn't going to be necessarily a cut and dry deal. When I first heard they got in talks, I was like, well, they're definitely going to just fucking sign for TSM. Like, that is a hand you bite off, right? If I am a team that's not even number one in an A, and TSM is saying, we're going to sign you and you're going to be on the fucking Eternal League, you're going to be on TV, I'd be like, why those players would turn that down, I have no idea. So I don't know if it's a bit of kidology, if they're holding out for a better deal. Maybe they were getting lowballed by TSM. I don't know, but the bottom line is that talk did occur. And then after that, of course, TSM went and tried to see if Luminosity, the Brazilian guys, were willing to come on board, and apparently they turned them down as well. Which is a very different scenario. Yeah. I mean, Luminosity is obviously invested in this team wholesale. Yeah. Fallen's got that relationship there, has that control, gets to make the roster changes he wants to make. But again, it must have been a tempting offer for them. But I mean, massive plaudits for them turning it down and not just doing a cash grab.
No, I mean, obviously, you've got to just give massive respect to the Luminosity CS team for turning that one down. And I can see why, just in terms of the timeline of it. Wasn't that long ago this time with Luminosity. I think it was like halfway through the year. I mean, well, just after that, actually. But I think that's pretty fair of them to stick by the organization and not just instantly hop to a bigger one when, I guess, as long as they get into the Eternal League or something, things can still be good with Luminosity. It's not like they're going to lose out on a lot, but they are obviously, in the short term, not cashing in on what they probably could have done after such a good result. Well, let's face it, an overperformance recently. So that's actually, in American sports tradition, that's exactly when you want to cash out usually. If you have the really good year on your contract year, you want to go for the biggest contract you can, even if it's to a team that you don't want to go to, just because you know next year you won't perform as well, so you can kind of get your deal at that point in time. So yeah, props to them for just like integrity for that one, I think.
Yeah. So, I mean, where do you think Conquest's going to end up? I mean, I do often think when you say, oh, like, email me at this email if you're interested in it. I generally think, like, you don't leave an organization until you've got at least the safety net of a new one. And I'm pretty sure they already have an offer from someone that they're going to take. So I don't know if putting this email up there and saying, oh, get in touch with us, that's like a little bit of kidology. I've seen teams do that before where it's like they are going to go to the next organization, but they make it represent and look like, oh, we haven't really got a new home yet. And you can do that because, first of all, it obviously stops people sniffing around and trying to leak the story. And obviously as well, you could get a better deal come out of nowhere. I mean, that's the crazy thing at the moment. There's still all these big Call of Duty organizations really looking to get involved. And, you know, the way Optic, for example, got left fucking twisting in the wind. I mean, if Optic want to get in, I still think, yeah, you know, they maybe missed the boat with a few of the teams they could have had. I don't know why the TSM thing didn't work out, but I guess if you want in and you know, you could do worse than this team, I suppose. Let's put it that way.
It's not a bad, just placeholder, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if you're especially, again, we don't currently know who's in the Eternal League, but if it's going to be a bunch of NA teams, there's a chance. This could be a team who might be in there.
Yeah. So, speaking of roster swaps, the other news was Hiko made it official, made an announcement saying that allu wouldn't be joining Team Liquid on a permanent basis, and this just came out today. Basically, what they said was, we don't know who we're going to use. We're looking at our options. It seemed like even if we were the best team in the world, allu did not want to move to North America, which seems a strange conclusion to arrive at, because allu wouldn't have put himself in the position to try out for them if he wasn't prepared to do it. Surely. So, I mean, that seems like a bit of a PR spin there.
No, the thing about this is, it really is quite simple, actually. What happened was, initially, when he left NIP, allu was open to the idea, especially if it was a good offer of going to NA. He did the tryout with Team Liquid. As far as I know, they were interested in it. They would have wanted to go down and pursue this path. But for whatever reason, he changed his mind. It's not that he wasn't going to do it in the first place, he just changed his mind. Now, no one can know why that is. I mean, to be fair, if you are making big decisions like this, I've always thought it's weird how many players make a decision overnight. Like, you probably should give it a week or so, really think about what all the consequences of it are, what's going to happen. And if after a week you decide, you know what, like, there's some things were pulling me towards it, but overall I want to go the other way, then that's like that. You know, your instincts are probably correct there. I mean, obviously, if I could ignore all his personal feelings and life circumstances, I'd love to see him join Team Liquid. Be really interesting injection of like a good player into the North American scene. They'd get a better player. They'd be able to remove some of the players who've been underperforming. But if his heart's really not in it, and he'd rather play perhaps even on a lower level in Europe, fair play. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bit of a strange situation. Like, first of all, it's like, I mean, I totally agree with your assessment. And this was my gut feeling at the time, and it was like, if allu's going to Team Liquid, this is the time you move Adrent a coach and you put allu in as a main AWPer. And I don't know if maybe a little like allu's gone in saying, well, I'll give it a try, see how it works. And just the reality of sort of playing in this secondary role, you know, maybe not being the primary AWPer, or maybe having to play with Adrent trying to rifle, which you don't even want to know about that. This is, I imagine, the reality slowly started to dawn on him. I mean, this is a guy, say what you will about joining Team Liquid, and I think, you know, I respect them in North American terms. I respect them as a unit, as a group of players. But allu has just come out of playing with NIP, and for all of their faults and all of their flaws, it's going to be a very fucking different environment. And equally, I think
he has no chance of joining any team as good as NIP, though.
No. I'd agree with that. I think he's going to struggle to get back into like a top 6, top 8 team. You know, probably true. But equally, like, this is still a player who could go to NA and hit it like a fucking wrecking ball. He's a good enough player to certainly shake up the NA scene. And I think he was definitely willing to give it a go, and it could have been this team. I just wonder if the fact that it was like, hey, I had to play second fiddle for a whole fucking year practically in NIP. I didn't get my primary role in NIP because I was the new kid on the block. I didn't always get to look my best. I don't want to do that in a fucking weaker team, in a weaker scene, and move me and my girlfriend out to NA for the fucking privilege, you know? So I think if the team was... Here's the bottom line. Any player in any sport, this isn't just a Counterstrike truism, but if you go and you have that trial and it's good and you're winning games and you're getting along, obviously you join. Obviously.
Yeah, sure.
So, for me, the problem must have been it's something to do with the team setup. And Allu obviously didn't get a good vibe from the players. I didn't get a good vibe from how he was going to come across and that sort of thing. So I think that's why it is. The good news is, of course, he is still available, but it looks increasingly likely now we're going to see that Finnish team with like Sonny and Stonda and people like that come together and try their hand at making an impact, which I kind of feel a bit sorry for them because I just don't think it's going to happen. I almost think, in a way, Finland has sort of gone a similar way to the UK. That there are players out there that could maybe still be useful at this level. I mean, not as bad as the UK, obviously, but it's still got players who could do something at this level. But I just don't think you're ever going to get a lineup together that's going to be solid. Even if you did get 5, how do you make roster changes if you need to improve? You can't. There's not really enough. There isn't that strength in depth. So it might sort of be a case that if Allu can't get onto a North American team, especially before the Turner League, his career might sort of end up petering out.
I mean, the fact he hasn't signed with TL says to me he's definitely not joining an NA team. As far as I can say publicly, I think that's almost certain he's not joining an NA team. So to me, it is like a second-tier European team, if not third-tier at this point in time. So It's sad in that scenario. To me, the most annoying thing about this is, due to a weird set of circumstances, a team like Team Liquid could have scored like the transfer off-season of the year by having like, imagine if they'd have gotten Allu and Gob B and they'd have kicked out Fugly and Adren.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the team fix right there.'ve got a stable AWPer, someone who performs as Europeans, got an in-game leader, all the strats, all the understanding of how to bring the European meta game. That would be like the, out of nowhere at the end of the year, you'd have pulled it out the bag. Meanwhile, Team 9 has lost their in-game leader. That would be the move I think you need to seize control. Unfortunately for them, I mean, it's no part on that, nothing to do with them. They can't control if Allu wants to do it last minute or not. So that's just bad luck for them.
I mean, let's talk. We're going to get into the NA shuffle in a bit, but let's talk.
One other thing to just say on this topic as well. Anyone who wants to speculate about how much teams make who has no inside contacts with any players, don't even waste your time. You have no clue. Because what you try to do, I've seen this every time, is you use the logic that results equals the org must be doing well equals how much money they have. Team Liquid can make either a more competitive or as competitive offer as NIP to a player like Allu. So the notion that like Team Liquid doesn't have enough money, that is a ludicrous proposition. That's one of the things I rant about all the time on this show, that fuckers from Team Liquid are making like 3 times what people on Na'Vi are making.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, so I don't get, what, are people saying it's a money thing? Is that what people are trying to say?
Some people thought so, and it's just something I've seen many times before. Like, I've seen people like, well, they couldn't afford this player from Europe. They probably could, mate. Almost, unless they're on one. There's probably about 3 or 4 teams in Europe max that at the moment pay more than a team like Team Liquid. And those are mainly the teams where they have championship contenders who they have to pay over the odds to keep. Otherwise, they'd be paying the same amount.
To all of those morons that say things like that, let me drop a bit of knowledge. I got a bit of insight about this. Duncan can vouch for this as well. One of the reasons why NA has always been a scene that's almost been like artificially propped up, with the exception of the very dark days in that post-CGS Fallout-style wasteland of every man for himself, is because it's about marketing budgets. Now, still, as stable as our industry is, and everyone's loving it right now, and oh, look, we've got all these venture capitalists and all these rich people, and isn't it great? We're still primarily an industry that thrives on the gimme. We exist on marketing budgets. Most organizations don't have sustainable revenue streams. It's not like their merchandising, ticket sales, etc. funds the org and the sponsors augment that funding. We're still all primarily sponsored. We rely on marketing budget. We rely on cuts from prize money. This is how an organization works. Now, NA budgets are huge. What happens in Europe is you get a Swedish marketing budget. You get a German marketing budget. You get a French marketing budget, and it's adjusted per region. One of the reasons why the Danish scene has this huge level of engagement but never seems to translate it into a stable organization is because the marketing budgets that they get in that country is so small, because it's got a population like 5.5 million or something. right? So people don't invest that amount of money into it, even though you've got organizations like Dansk Metal in Denmark who fucking actually recognize esports, and you can get like government approved funding to build gaming houses and shit like this. The same as you could build a skate park with public money. But they'll never get the budget. Meanwhile, NA, which hasn't had the infrastructure, they have access to colossal marketing budgets because it's for the whole of fucking NA. So when you want to do something and you want to advertise across a territory that big, you've got to drop vast amounts of money to be able to do it successfully and see a return on that investment. So all the NA organizations make a greater amount of money sort of in relation to their performance levels than European organizations. It's been one of the ongoing problems we've had, that because of the regional budgets, the territorial budgets that we've got, it's really hard. You've got to have this sort of specificity. That's why you can have someone like NIP who basically dominate the fucking Swedish territory, right? I mean, Fnatic go a little bit further afield with their sponsors because, you know, they were already locked into business deals before NIP from CSGO existed. But this is why NA fucking orgs have access to huge amounts of money. So the idea that they couldn't financially compete is hilarious. All you need to do is look at fucking League of Legends. Don't look too long though; it's terrible. But look at it, and you'll see all the fucking all the European talent are going, and they're playing in a region that they know is weaker, playing with with organizations that maybe don't even have the same level of infrastructure, brand new organizations that have just sprung up out of venture capital because the money they've got access to is so Europe can't compete with that. And that tells you all you need to know about CSGO. So the idea Team Liquid couldn't have fucking cut allu a big fat check, if that's what people are saying, that's just fucking retarded. That is just retarded.
And you have to understand, Team Liquid is the League of Legends org. Any North American League of Legends org has more money than anyone else in Europe. The reason why I say that is because they're getting most of their sponsors from the League of Legends side of things, where they have insane numbers they can show off to people. So some European CSGO org is not going to be able to compete with that. I actually did a job indirectly for a North American League of Legends job, North team, where what they did was one of their sponsors wanted to do some content with the team. And so through the team, they hired me to do the job. The amount that they paid me was unreal, mate. And yet the whole thing about esports is, once you get to the level me and Rich are at, you don't do work with orgs at that point in time because they pay you peanuts. They pay people very little money because they're getting brand new volunteer staff writer type people. So the amount of money that they had access to in their marketing budget with one of their sponsors was ridiculous. So you won't put it this way. If I told you how much that is now, okay, I'll put it this way. Just the amount for that job was more than any CS player in the world gets paid in a month. Think about how insane that is.
Yeah.
And this is just to do a small job for them. So I can assure you, having worked in many different teams in Europe, that it's night and day between the two.
Yeah. Which brings us on to the NA shuffle. Lots of rumors flying around. So again, just because we have to telegraph everything because idiots watch this show, and I wish they didn't. I don't know how Alphadraft feel about idiots watching the show, but if it's down to me, I'd rather.
I mean, to be fair, in some ways, Alphadraft is a tax on idiots.
yeah, true.
I play it as well, by the way, and I also lose. So it's a tax on me as well. But.
You're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to say you win all the time. But anyway, so there's obviously a lot of rumors floating around. These are rumors that are so far unsubstantiated. Could be true. Could be true. Like a lot of rumors are true at the time the rumors start circulating. All right, but maybe they won't be true in a week or so. And I'm not reporting this. This isn't official. These are rumors. Do you think they'll get the message now, Thorin? Do you think I've expressed that enough?
Mate.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, why
Put
not?
it this way, here's all you need to know about Reddit, Rich. I'll give you one simple example. So I see a thread, title of the thread, Dazed's top 10 NA players. So I click it, because guess what I'm hoping to see? I'd like to know who Dazed think the top 10 NA players are.
That'd be interesting.
First thing he says is, which players would I like to play with and do I think are pretty good right now and would consider playing with one day? Then names 10 players. Can you see the problem with the title there?
Yeah, massively.
Sort of not the same thing in any way, is it?
No. It's almost as if they were just fucking full-blown retards.
It's like if I made a video, okay, and the title said Thorin's top 10 women in the world. And then when it came into it, it was like 10 women who I think I could actually sleep with realistically now. Well, Susan from around the corner. Let's see. Who else is there? Svetlana.
I've Susan from round the corner, mate. You
Okay.
can definitely
Everyone
have
has,
Susan.
mate.
Yeah,
Everyone
yeah.
has,
You can definitely get Susan.
I even noticed why I even said Svetlana there, as I was trying to imply like I'm actually down with Eastern European people. I'm not in any way, mate. But maybe
Mate,
it's as close as I come, mate.
Don't fucking pretend you wouldn't, for starters.
Wow.
Actually, there's an award. There's an award for that. There's an award later. But anyway,
Is it called the Makaleli Cluj Round of the Year award?
It certainly could be, mate. So look, these are the rumors that are circulating. That there's a team coming together, which is going to be Automatic, Semphis, Lagia, Gobby, and Stewie 2K.
Well, that's a shit lineup.
That's one of the rumors that's floating around, and the rumor also is that TSM could be considering that lineup.
Please. Anyone who knows how I feel about the owner of TSM, I'd love him. But you know what, mate? I see a lot of potential on that lineup. I'd go ahead. You don't want to let anyone poach him. I'd lock him in for like 5 years if I were you. I want to see that lineup play for TSM in 5 years from now, wearing the TSM jersey, representing TSM in the Turner League and all international competitions. And I want to see them given the maximum amount of resources. And I want to see the owner actually take some personal time with the team, kind of give his philosophy on how to play the game. I want him to take all the credit for that lineup success.
Now, here's the thing, though, brother. I can't believe that. Like, I've heard that from like 3 or 4 people, by the way. That is a lineup, and that lineup is potentially going to go to TSM.
You haven't gone and gotten James as their coach, have you?
Yeah, just to top it off, right? So, I can't believe that's legit. I just cannot. I never will believe that that's legit. But like a bunch of players have told me that. Like NA players have messaged me like, this is happening. This is real. So I'm just like, I'm not reporting that. Sorry. I'm never going to report that. I'm never putting my name on paper to that being a real thing, because that just, you can't allow that to happen. Surely. Whether it's TSM or not, I agree.
Listen,
I don't see how that lineup could work.
You know that meme in League of Legends, which is that because Reginald got Bjergsen from Europe, he takes like, lesser known players who haven't quite made it yet. And he kind of like, he knows the star quality and he turns them into stars. Maybe he's trying to do that with every position on this CSGO team. Maybe he secretly scouted these guys and he's like, these are the guys, they're cut from the same cloth as me. I see the kind of greatness that I am capable of within these people. And you know what? I agree with his opinion, Rich. I agree with it.
I see. Now,
you don't even know about League of Legends. This is so wasted, isn't it?
Fuck them. Do some research. So the other story that's come around, and this has already been confirmed actually. So I was fed this as a rumor, and so far it seems to be accurate. Is obviously Complexity are putting together a new lineup. Return of Fraud, obviously back in there. And apparently, what's going to happen with their lineup is it's going to be Roka, Sanks, Rix, Fraud, and they're maybe looking to add Anger to that lineup. Apparently, that's the word on the street. Again, the Anger part's just a rumor, but the other 4 are already on the roster. So I want to ask you a question about the return of Fraud, because we knew Fraud was available. He was going to come back to the game. We heard even talks that he could have been a Team Liquid player. Apparently, GBJames is a big fan, really likes him. What was definitely open to the idea of giving Fraud a trial with Team Liquid. Again, that's the word on the street. So, what do you think about the return of him? Because I remember the Fraud, from 1.6, yes, but and also from Counterstrike Source when he was a fucking monster in the first season of CGS, like just hands down the best player in the fucking world. Used to make 2 or 3 kills like just every round. Always used to get the first frag. But Complexity were just riding on his fucking coattails. He was just so unbelievably good. I don't think he'll ever get to that standard again, but do you think he's still going to make a dent? And do you think this Complexity team will also do the same?
If I had to put my money down, I think that he individually could be a good player, especially because he's mainly going to be an AWPer, and there's not that many really good LAN AWPers in NA. I mean, we know there's like a couple. So I think if he really applied himself and there was no excuses and he like went all in and just started going, just went all in right now, then I think in 6 months he could be at the level of like a JDM type player. I think that is really possible. But I'm not going to go the whole hog and say, right, he's going to be Guardian, for example. Like, I think that's for a start off with 1.6 players who haven't played a lot of CSGO, you can never make the assumption they'll be as good as they were in the previous game. You just can't. It's just too many times. The people who have done so are the weird outliers. So I can't say that. In terms of the actual team, I don't think this is a great team, to be honest. Like, I think Roka is a good player. I've always thought he was pretty good, but I mean, he seems like a weird guy, so I can understand why teams haven't picked him up. Anger has always been a mad onliner. Like, he has really good aim online, but it's just never, I've just almost never seen it on land, so that's a problem. Rix is just like a jobber, just average NA pro. Fine with that. Sanks was, actually thought just like a very average player again. I don't think he was particularly good when he was in Neelam. And so it mainly just comes down to how good Fraud gets, I guess. If Fraud gets really good, Fraud and Roka, that could be like an okay team. That could be like the third or fourth best team. It could be competing around there, but I wouldn't expect much more. Like, I don't have huge expectations for this team. A lot has to be proved to me by Fraud for a start off.
They got a coach there who I've got a lot of respect for. And it's weird. We talk a lot about coaches in this game, and yet this guy's completely flown under the radar. I almost guess that's because Complexity haven't done a great deal or what we would expect from a brand with its pedigree and history. But that's obviously Warden, a legendary player in his own right. Do you have any thoughts about him? Because, I haven't talked to Matt for a while, but I always thought back when he was a player, I thought this is a guy who could go on to be a really good coach,
Obviously, I haven't actually seen him do the coaching. I haven't sat behind him, so I have to speculate. The main problem I have is when I've talked to him about CS, a lot of his knowledge comes from like a kind of like a teammate kind of sense, like of where should our like motivation be in the game and what should the morale be like, and you've got to pump people up when they win rounds. Which, listen, that's all well and good. All that stuff does have a place in the team, but in an ideal world, you usually want that to be one of the players in the team who does that role, like the captain or the in-game leader in an ideal world if he's a very charismatic guy. In terms of actual coaching, to me, at this point in time, until we get huge staffs like League of Legends, coach at the moment should really be more about like, how do they practice? And then also like a bit of what would be called an analysis in League of Legends. So like the strategies and stuff like that. I'm not so sure that he'd be so good at the tactics. That's the area where I'd suspect he won't be so bang on and won't be as good as some of the other people in the game. So I think he's just an all right coach. Like, it's fine.
Okay. So the other thing, let me just see if this is worth mentioning about. Oh, so there's a rumor flying around that CLG are going to drop Taric and maybe Cloud9 are going to get Taric.
Cloud9? Okay. Yeah, I've heard this rumor as well.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, because where is the in-game leader in the team? Like, as far as I can tell, the rumors, bearing in mind, none of the players that I've heard suggested so far were in-game leaders. The rumor, as far as I can tell, is that nothing will become the in-game leader, which is like, is this real life? Like, the guy who could never remember the strategy 5 seconds after it went into one of his ears is going to now give the strategy out. So I don't think that's a great idea. Taric is a decent player. He's like above. Here's the thing. In terms of skills, he's a pretty good NA player. In terms of actual performance, he's like an above average NA player. But the problem is he's always been pitted as the star player. So I don't think he always delivered in CLG at the international lands. And I don't see what adding him to Cloud9 is going to do, because it's not like he's such an amazing fragger that it's going to make them some crazy all-star type team who doesn't need strats. I don't really see the point in this move, really.
Yeah, I guess the thought process could be maybe they do bring Sean Gez back to do this full-time coaching role.
I've heard that under no circumstances will he be involved with Cloud9. That's the tone that I've heard suggested.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of heard that as well. I think he's looking to maybe move on to more personality-based work. But, I mean, obviously you can never say never, especially where there's money and opportunity involved and whatnot. So
I mean, if I were them, I'd open the checkbook and give them a blank check and just be like, what is it going to take? Because I think they're fucked without him. So
yeah, I mean, but this is the thing, isn't it? Like, and I actually want to see the concept that we've talked about for a while, which is like, Sean Gez is this great playbook guy, great tactician, really good at coming up with strategies and anti-stratting opponents, and is a pretty good in-game leader. It was just unfortunate that he could never. He can never match what he brings as an in-game leader in terms of raw fragging and that sort of thing. Although actually towards the end of his time with C9, he improved massively in that regards as well. But I'd like to see him be the coach. I'd like to see if he can be like a missing piece in the jigsaw, bring another fragger in and have him do all the calls. I'd like to see if that would work, just for my own sort of knowledge, just to see whether it could make C9 a good team again,
That's why I think he isn't going to be the coach, though, because I think here's my speculation. So I think the reason he retired wasn't just like, I'm not that great a player or the team's not going anywhere. I think it was more like he'd reached his limit. Like he's done all the practice, he's done all the boot camp, he's done all the events he's done. Everyone's had their chance to get dedicated and get practice and all the rest of it. And they've reached a cap on where he can go in terms of what he can contribute. And now there's no point. Like where are they going at this point in time? They're not even making it out of groups at majors. So to me, standing behind the guys is just like he'd be doing the same job, but now he's got an extra guy to try and get on board to do what he wants. And if the others weren't doing it already, I mean, I can understand why if I were him, I'd be like, definitely not going to be part of Cloud9 anymore. That's my speculation, at least.
Yeah, he probably is right. I mean, he definitely seemed to cut an exasperated figure towards the end, and you can see since leaving the team, he looks a lot more happier. He's a lot more upbeat on his stream. He's enjoying, doing ESL work and stuff. And I've worked with Sean at Cologne, and we had a great rapport. It was really good working with him. He's good on a desk. He's very insightful. So I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he could go on to have a great sort of career in that line of work. But I still think he's got something to offer at the very least in a coaching perspective. So I guess we'll wait and see how that.
Whenever we talk about NA teams who have a spot open, I'm just going to say this once, and then I'm not going to address it ever again.
Okay.
Don't ever, if you're a fan, say like, oh, well, I'm sure they're getting, and then insert a banned iBUYPOWER player. I think we've already gone over this. They are banned forever, and it will never be reviewed. End of story. It's not that, oh, they know that Swag's available. He isn't. He is banned forever. It's over.
Okay. Fuck. I mean, I wasn't gonna talk about this, so I'll just say there ends the speculation and rumor part of the show. It's over now. Okay, so before you go and make all your little Reddit threads and attribute facts to me and Duncan that were never expressed as facts, just to fucking mark it off. That is the end of the speculation and rumor part. But let's talk about this, because the iBUYPOWER shit all flared up again. And I did one of my legendary late night drunken streams. And got asked the question, what happened with Valve, and I said, look, basically, I agreed to have a meeting with Valve at Cluj to basically champion the argument for a clarification, at least, if not a reduced sentence for the iBUYPOWER guys. And basically, I was saying you can't. An indefinite ban is bullshit. You've got to clarify one way or the other, because you can't leave people dangling. It's not fair. Now, I got that meeting on the proviso that I didn't say anything about it, so I never did. But obviously, we know that it was talked about on Semler's stream. Some of the players picked it up and talked about it. So I guess the cat's out the bag. Hopefully, Valve won't feel too bad about me clarifying what actually happened, because I was in the meeting. It was me set it up. It was me talked about it. And basically, what Valve said at Cluj was they were very direct in the sense that they said, we are not saying it's a lifetime ban. We are saying it's an indefinite ban, and we have no plan to review that decision.
Which is some like fucking double speak bullshit if I ever heard it.
Which I mean, basically reading between the lines, reading between the lines. Sorry, it's a way of saying we aren't going to unban them, but we don't rule out that we could at any point if for any reason we needed to, or we suddenly had a change of heart and a change of direction. And I tried to say to them, I mean, at least look at them on a player basis. Because everyone had different circumstances and different levels of involvement, and it's like with the Skadoodle thing. People can say that, oh well, Skadoodle was innocent. He was innocent of not accepting the skins, because and again, the way it's been framed is that the skins were handed out in increments because of limitations and how much you can transfer and getting them and stuff. And obviously, you all had different accounts to log in because it was that big an operation. And basically, there'd been so much speculation about it being a throw, and people like me pushing the story that by the time it came round for him to accept his share, he said, "Actually, I don't want it." Now, okay, I suppose that shows some integrity, right? To say I don't want it now. It also shows some a level of awareness, a level of self-preservation. All good. But I mean, for me, the integrity part has to kick in at the point where you're being asked to play in the game. Like you could have just as easily said, "Sorry guys, like I want no fucking part in this. Use a stand-in." Right? And if you play in a game where 4 of your teammates are throwing, I don't know. I mean, how complicit are you? And this is the point that I've tried to make throughout. Not everybody deserves the same sentence based on this. You've got to look at different circumstances, like you would in any other court of law or any other crime. And instead, they've been given this blanket ban where everyone's circumstances are presumed to be identical, and everyone's level of involvement is presumed to be identical. And I don't think that's fair. And I made that point to Valve. They gave a strong rebuttal. It made a lot of sense. They said, "Look, the one thing everyone has to be mortally terrified of doing in this sport is fixing a match or cheating." He said, if no fear exists around doing those two things, the scene's going to descend into anarchy, and that kind of supports the idea of why they have come down and just basically guillotined their careers like that.
That's what doesn't make sense, though. So immediately my follow-up to that would be, what? So being banned for 2 years doesn't make people mortally afraid?
Well, yeah.
If I tell you, "Oh, you're a professional, you're a professional butcher, that's your whole livelihood, that's all you've ever trained for, that's all you know," and I tell you, if you do this shady deal and I catch you, you don't get to do your livelihood for 2 years, you'd be like, "Oh, that's fine, as long as it's not forever, I'll just go ahead and do it then." No, that 2 years would essentially have the exact same effect in terms of deterrence as lifetime. So actually, Valve's own logic doesn't hold up there. Here's the real story, okay? Here's how I'll interpret what Valve did, because I don't buy any of that stuff. What I think happened is Valve are fucking pussies who just won't won't own up to the shame that in their game this happened. Now, here's the thing. It's not their fault. They didn't do this. They couldn't really have put in many precautions to stop it from happening. But for some reason, they are so repulsed by the notion it happened in their game, they just want to brush it all under the carpet and never look at it and never consider it again. And to me, that's just bullshit. If you want to be the game developer, okay, go and do it. If you want to fucking lead the community and you want to lead the esports side of this thing and you want to police pros, then actually fucking man up and do that. Do a job of fairly policing these pros with policies in place and a philosophy behind it. Don't just do some bullshit like that, like you're the king of the land and you can just choose, "Oh, I'm going to choose this guy to have his head cut off. Oh, the same guy does the same crime. Oh, he just gets a month in the dungeons." No, that's being capricious. That's not in any way being a leader and someone who's worthy of respect and showing that they accept the responsibility of that kind of lofty position. So I think it's bullshit, all of Valve stuff there. I still haven't heard them give a single good reason, in my opinion, as to why these players are never getting their ban reviewed. Even if it's to say you will never be unbanned, they're not even doing that.
Yeah, and here's what I
one other thing, one final thing to say as well.
Sure.
They won't even talk to these players. And these people want to be the community leaders and the police. The police have to at least fucking tell you your charges, take you to court, give you your day in court, then give you the punishment. They don't just get to go, "Oh, just throw him in a cell and then never tell him why and just never release him and then don't tell anyone why." In fact, don't even talk about it. It's story over.
I mean, the one thing I will say, because I don't want to make it look like I'm bashing Valve, they did clarify one thing, and this got lost and obfuscated in all of the bullshit and the free iBUYPOWER and free dazed and free swag, all of these hashtags that were flying around, and they said this is just for the majors. This is just for Valve-funded tournaments, crowd-funded tournaments that Valve runs. So it would apply to minors, it would apply to majors, right? Now, they said, we will apply no pressure whatsoever. No pressure whatsoever will come from us. If ESL want to allow them in their tournaments, they can. If Faceit want to allow them in their tournaments, they can. If DreamHack want to allow them in their tournaments, they can. They made it absolutely clear all they want to have dominion over is the Valve majors and minors. Now, they said that. So, and I'm inclined to believe them. I don't think Valve don't need to lie to anybody. Right? It's just that simple. They can do what the fuck they want. They're Valve. Okay? So I at this point, when we say it's over, I mean, yeah, it's over at the highest level. But there would, if Valve are telling the truth, and I genuinely think they are, there's no reason that ESL and DreamHack, Faceit, and Gfinity, and all these other, and ESEA, and all these other tournament, MLG, all these other tournament organizers couldn't just independently say, well, we're going to allow them to compete at our events. And the only thing that would be precluded from competing in would be the majors and the minors.
Oh, one other thing to say as well. I also suspect that the real motivation behind giving people crazy bans for cheating or match fixing is laziness and not putting in place an actual system to monitor if people are doing it and catch them. Instead of doing that, they want to just say, well, if you do it, then we hang, draw, and quarter you, and then pour salt in your eyes as you're dying. So you definitely don't want to even try it, right? Well, no, that's not the way it works. You're the fucking police. You have to actually put in place things to catch people and see what behavior is going on. You don't just wait until after the fact like this. So just as with cheating, I think the reason why they like banned Kaylee and banned them and then didn't look into any other stuff is because they didn't want to have to look, are people cheating, and make more work on the anti-cheat, despite the fact they're getting millions of dollars for CSGO. So I am bashing Valve because it's bullshit. And then if they won't address it themselves, they deserve this exact sort of treatment. It's contemptible.
Yeah, they are in uncharted territory, like, because Valve are notoriously hands off, like Valve aren't like a Riot. They don't want to fucking have to deal with any of this shit. I mean, I think that's actually part of the problem, that Valve do not want to be in any way, shape, or form the kind of like the moral arbiters, the disciplinary body. I don't think they want to do that. They've only ever intervened in Dota, for example, where they feel it's absolutely necessary. Like when we had the Good Game Agency buying up all of the teams, so you would end up with like basically like 3 or 4, maybe more Alex Garfield teams all competing at the major. They intervened about that and had meetings about that because they were like, there's a conflict of interest here, and it was the same with players being dropped because they were unwell. Valve that happened in Dota, and Valve came in and they were like, okay, this is not going to happen. We're going to get a roster lock period going on, and they were kind of advocating for player rights there. They definitely do care about player rights, but equally, I don't think they want to fucking be the guys who have to sit there all fucking day, every fucking day, coming up and making these decisions. Is that player cheating? What do we do here? What do we do there? This player did that. This player did that. I think they want everybody to sort of be the kings of their own fucking domain and rule accordingly to their own whims. I don't think they want to be the God Emperor of Counterstrike. I really don't think they want that role. And I agree with you. I think it's problematic because I think they're going to need to take the lead at some point. I want to see them have like a fucking community manager that actually talks to the community on a regular basis. I want to see somebody who, whenever there's an accusation like of cheating or match fixing or anything like that going around, they come forward and say, we're investigating this right now. We take it very seriously. I want to see Valve make hires for people like that. I think that would improve the competitive integrity of our scene, and in a way that's legitimate, not like Riot Games. That's what I want. But I don't think they're ever going to be willing to do that because it goes against their whole company ethos. So I think that's where we're stuck. But anyway, you're right. I don't want to talk too much more about the iBUYPOWER stuff. It is done and dusted. My final thoughts on that would be, I think they can still have a career. It's never going to be glittering. It's never going to be as distinguished as it could have been if this match fixing hadn't occurred. But they can definitely go to other fucking tournaments if tournament organizers are going to be like, well, okay, by our standards, they've served their punishment. And if they do that, they can still have a career. They can still make money. They'll just never get to compete at the highest level. And they'll always have to walk around with the shame of being that team that match fixed, those players that match fixed. Trust me, it's going to get talked about every fucking broadcast they're on. So it's not like they've skated completely scot-free. Anyway, the other story, and then we're going to do awards. Definitely going to do awards. Is this Stewie 2K drama. Did you see this?
No, what is that?
It was a bit weird. So basically what happened, obviously, Stewie 2K was in the Splice team. That's formerly the Follow Esports. They rebranded. They're now called Splice. So he was in there. And, they've obviously got PTR in there and whatnot.
Oh, you mean where he didn't turn up for a match?
Yeah, he missed a match. And people are saying he slept through it. And then basically, like, PTR tweeted saying it's great when one of your teammates doesn't even turn up. And then Stewie 2K just went ham and said, well, it's great that you've been such a shitty teammate since, for all of this time. And then Stewie2K leaves, puts a twit longer post out saying, twit longer. He could have done it in 2 tweets. It was pretty short, so I don't know why he used twit longer, but he just said, "I'd like to thank the owner for taking care of me. They treated me very well. I'd like to thank the manager for keeping us up to date with our schedule, booking our flights, and reminding us about our agenda. And I want to thank the time I've been with you guys. It was awesome to represent the colours of Splice, but a new home awaits," which feeds into this idea that maybe he is joining that lineup that we talked about earlier in the show in the rumour section. But I mean, at no point does he say thanks to my teammates or anything. That's all about the org, all about the managers, the owners. So obviously Stewie2K and his team weren't getting along. So what do you make of this guy, Stewie2K? Because I hear lots of things about him. There's a bit of a meme going around that he's like some kind of onliner. He's an asshole. Is any of this justified?
I mean, based on the things I've heard and the limited times I've seen him play a little bit of FPL, he just seems like exactly the sort of player that will never get respect from really good LAN players. It happens all the time, right? What happens is someone comes along and in pugs and 10-mans, they're insane and they play the most aggressive, risky style where they do things that just are like inefficient plays on LAN. And then because they're wrecking you so much, because they are good online, the really good LAN players like, this is fucking bullshit. This guy would never do this on LAN. He'll choke if he goes to LANs. And because the person hasn't been to enough LANs, they haven't been able to prove it. And basically, if they could do that offline, they'd be one of the best players in the world. So when you have that sort of rep, you can't put a foot wrong. You have to be like Shroud. You have to have the perfect personality. You have to never trash talk anyone. That's how you'll get into a team eventually. If you ever make any drama, you trash talk people, or you start rivalries with really good LAN players who are in top teams, that will just put up artificial hurdles to you ever making it in the scene. And you obviously still have to prove it on LAN. So to me, that's the only real reason I had an eye on him is I'd heard all this stuff about him. So I'm waiting to see him play more LANs and see if he's any good. So at the moment, this drama definitely is not going to help his career. And if he's really joining that dog shit TSM lineup, then, I mean, I guess he's got somewhere to go for the next few months, but let's put it this way, that's not going to take you to the promised land.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think so either. I've watched him play some FPL, but I always think that's deceptive. Like, NA produce all these, like, fucking pug stars, as they're called, right? Repeatedly, time and time again. They got this selfish style, selfish, aggressive, and it looks great in those kind of matchmaking-based games. It's so rare for any of those guys to translate that to being good in a team. Like, Shroud is the outlier, not the fucking rule.
Even he isn't as good as he is. Like, mate, when you watch him play FPL, he is the best player in the world. I'm not joking. Like, his aim is unreal. He can win any scenario. Then you watch him in a game, he doesn't do like 70% of that shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's think about when he first came into that fucking lineup. He was fucking the first time we saw this guy play it, like the Cologne. Obviously, had an ESEA LAN before that, but at the Cologne Major, he was fucking unreal. It was absolutely unreal, and I think it's been like slowly, like you say, he's kind of like bottomed out a little bit. Like he's never going to be the Shroud that you see when he's pugging. And I don't know what it is about NA players where they can be so good in that environment where it's like they don't need to think and they play instinctive, and then you try and put them in this structured fucking team lineup, and it just goes to shit. So I think Stewie2K is just going to be another one of those players on that fucking scrap heap of great at pugs, had so much potential but never translates it, and then on top has an attitude that means that he can't even pander to the people he needs to pander to get into the good teams. So there's that. Anyway, that's the news roundup. We're going to take a short commercial break, and when we get back, me and Duncan are going to do our 2015 CS Awards. Do join us. We'll see you soon. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We've got ourselves some drinks. We recommend you do the same. This is where we're going to have a bit of fun. So me and Duncan came up with some award categories earlier today and yesterday, some of which are serious, some of which are far fucking from serious, but let's get into them. So first of all, let's start with a serious one. For Player of the Year, I think this is going to have a very limited shortlist. There's only really 2 or 3 names I think you can even seriously consider. But let's do it. I got a good idea who I think yours is going to be. So lay it on me, brother.
I mean, I think there's only 3 people could even be on the list. Like, I don't think you can go beyond that. Like obviously for nominees, you have to put some people in there, but I don't think there's even any debate. It has to be Olofmeister, I think. I don't know really how you could make a case against it. Like, for example, he's essentially ticked every box you could want. He probably had the most dominance over the year. He won the most tournaments over the year. He was the star of the team that won the most tournaments. He basically probably has wins against every single team. He was amazing on pretty much every single match. Like, I don't really know. Put it this way, I'd love to hear the argument against him as the best player of the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I knew this was going to be consensus to start us off. What you have to remember is, and this is where people get fucked up on awards, right? Like, and this is just a general caveat for everything we're going to talk about. A year is 12 months long, fuckers. So remember that, right? Because what happens every time awards get talked about is you're all out there with your little short fucking memories. You're like, oh, well, what happened in the last 6 weeks? 3 months if you're usually really generous. And you know, if Olofmeister had a slight dip in form at the end of the year, which we can say he did before this new look lineup came around, when him and Pronak's relationship was kind of misfiring, you might go, oh, well, that's nonsense. This was evidenced by when Flusher had that period, like, for example, at the Gfinity Champion of Champions, and Flusher was absolutely godlike and was just literally, Fnatic were playing poorly, but Flusher would just clutch every round where he was the last left alive. People came forward and said, well, Flusher's now overtaken Olofmeister as the best player in the world. Well, yeah, that day, that fucking day he did, you know, but like I say, a year is fucking 12 months long, so you have to take everything into consideration. For me, Olofmeister was on another fucking level this year to almost anybody else. I actually think, in terms of star players, I don't think I've ever seen anyone be as clearly dominant as him for as long as him in any version of Counterstrike. Like, seriously, this is almost like 9 months out of the year where it was inarguable that he was the best player in the world. Super high level of performance. Could always switch it up, versatile, capable of AWPing, capable of being an entry fragger, like as we've seen on Train, which is something that he can do, even though it's not one of Fnatic's like strongest maps by any means. His skill alone can carry them through that matchup on the occasions they have to play it. Consistently high levels of fragging, just a ridiculously talented player, and yeah, for me, no argument there. I mean, if you had to mention other people, if you had to say like a runner-up,
yeah,
who would it be for you?
Probably Kenny S. I think the other two is Kenny S and Guardian. Those are the obvious
Guardian.
ones.
Guardian.
Here's the thing. Again, as you said, a year is 12 months long. Well, for the first 2.5 months, Kenny S was fucking unbelievable. Those 2.5 months is probably better than even Olofmeister's peak. It's just that Olofmeister's peak lasted a lot longer and was a lot more versatile in what he could do. Guardian obviously had an extremely good summer and then really picked it up the last couple of months as well. So he maybe got like 4 or 5 months of really solid performance. I mean, the problem is, like I said, Olofmeister basically ticks the boxes in every respect. Like, he has the great performance, then he was also in the best team, and he was the star of it. Here's another one for you. Usually, players who are all-rounders are never the best player, because usually that's the whole point. Yeah. The guy's so good as an all-rounder. It's like he's very versatile within your team. He contributes a lot. It's very rare that the best player also can be like, yeah, I'm the best rifle in the world. Oh, yeah, but I'm also one of the best AWPers. But probably one of the best on the pistol rounds. Pretty good in clutches, good on T side, good on CT side. I'm good on this map, I'm good on that map. Is my team bad on this map? Don't worry, I'm good on Train and Cash, which they aren't even good at. Like, that's like, the list is almost ridiculous what this guy was good at. So, as good as those other guys were, I don't think they can really compare, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, the first 2.5 months of the year, like you say, Kenny S, godlike, you know, dropping 40 bombs, 50 bombs, still losing because of the fucking team he's in. Then he gets his big move, has some sort of shaky start, kind of a shaky start in the sense that doesn't pull out any high-level performances. The thing is, though, his skill ceiling is so fucking unbelievably high. That said, you know, like, if I was doing a list, it would be like Olofmeister. I'd probably have Guardian as my runner-up, I think, it's purely and simply because I don't think Guardian had that wilderness, and in fact, the only blips in Guardian's copybook is that he repeatedly didn't turn up to the majors
until the last one,
until Cluj, yeah. He repeatedly didn't turn up at the majors, and that's where I think you start making an argument for Kenny S over him. But in the
Oh
regular
yeah,
season.
on that vein, by the way, as well. But Rich, let's not forget, Olofmeister was also the best player at a major at
Yeah.
ESL1 Cologne, Katowice. So, I mean, that's just like another thing to add into it, because, like, for example, these guys were listing here. Okay, Guardian had that last major he went ham at, but for the rest of the year, they weren't doing so much at majors. So it's like Olofmeister did almost everything you could want from a superstar player.
Yeah, and then you've got to give an honourable mention to Snacks, I think, as well.
I think that's fine.
I mean, I always make the joke like, well, it's not even a joke, but people interpret it as a joke. I say pound for pound, he's the best player. And, people fucking think I'm joking, but I don't. I think like he is the great all rounder that you would put in a fucking list. I think. But for me, yeah, Guardian would be my runner-up. But the main thing on this is the take-home is I think we're both agreed unequivocally that Olaf Meister deserves the award for 2015. So I won't dwell too much on that because I know we want to fucking get into the funny ones. So let's flip the switch a little bit. Most overrated player of 2015. This is a brutal one, man. There's so many possible.
See, here's the problem. I've always found this in esports. There's two ways you can go with most overrated, right? Which is you can take it at its most literal sense, and you have to essentially find an utterly terrible player who people think is good. But I actually think usually what people really mean by most overrated is a player who is good and maybe even is a top player, but then like people say he's the best. So within that context there, I would have to say, I think the obvious one to me, I would probably pick, I'd probably pick Shroud actually.
Ooh, go on then.
Because to me, it's either Shroud or I would have said Forest. Because for most of the year, people still were like, here's the problem: Forest tomorrow could have a string of 10 tournaments where he goes 0-15 in every game, and people would not be able to get it out there. No, but he is still a really good player. He will always be one of the best players. They will never. So I would have picked Forest, but the difference is Forest actually over the year did have spells where he was good enough. For me, Shroud was only really, really like a superstar level for like a month. Like for the ESL ESEA Pro League Season 1 finals, he was super sick there. Then elsewhere in the year, what's funny is on the rest of their run, he wasn't even that sick at times. On the other two tournaments they came second at, he was just all right at. But later on in the year, he had like the odd tournament where he was pretty good. But overall, when you consider the entire year and how many lands Cloud9 played at, this guy did not arrive like a superstar type player would. I mean, if he really had the performance level that people assigned to him, he would have been like Guardian and Kenny S. He would have been superstar carrying, even if the team had been losing. He didn't do that. What happened was when the team was at its absolute best, he was very good within it, and partly because of the roles within the team. And then at times, even when the rest of the team were good, sometimes he was just all right. He was never bad at any point in time. He's always been a good player. But when I have that stratosphere of like superstar, star, good player, he's always been hovering between good and star. He's never been at the superstar status that I reserve for the Olofmeister Guardian real superstar type players. So I think I'll take Shroud.
For me, I think hands down Scream. Hands down this year. The level of hype around this player, like, I get it because he can be a fucking human highlight reel. But I just think that's been happening less and less. Like, he did have a period of time where, you go right back to like pre-nerfs and pre-changes and pre-patches. There was a moment in time where his fucking skills were insane. His one bullet aim was so on point. And even though you could always say the way he tries to play the game always meant that he could get caught out by rushes and that kind of thing. For me, the level that people talk about this player for what he actually delivers is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And keep in mind that as far as we know, as things stand, he's the player that's got the highest ever transfer fee in the fucking history of the game. A reported $150,000 paid for him. Well, for that sort of money, I want somebody that can step up and carry. I'd want a fucking Olaf Meister. But he rarely delivers that level of performance. So, yeah, I'm and I talked about this a lot when we were doing the SEVO finals, like, where he had, like, a terrible first day, as did Titan. And then obviously he fucking went and had a much better second day, as did the whole team. But for me, I'm never going to be sold on him because of the way he plays the game. I think like it's just almost like stubbornness at this point to try and continue that style. And I just think people fucking massively overrate him, massively. And also as well, the other thing is I've always said somebody who's that good with one bullet aiming needs to step up and be a fucking entry fragger, in my opinion. Especially as Titan are crying out for one right now. And he doesn't seem willing to take on that role or even try. So yeah, massively overrated for me. Massively. I'm trying to think if there was a fucking runner-up that maybe could leapfrog that. Maybe leapfrog Scream for me. Do you have any runners-up? I mean, by the look on your face, I'm guessing Scream wouldn't have made your fucking list at all.
The problem is, I didn't know people really still rated him that much. Like, for me, you have to realize...
Oh, yeah, every time
the things you were saying there, Rich, I'm not joking. I used to say in 2013, when he was in the best team in the world.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, I guess, okay, it's fair. Maybe I just ignore the people who are Scream fanboys and think, oh, they just only watch the movies or something. So to me, it's just kind of a bit old hat. But I agree. He's obviously incredibly overrated because he's never been a star player. Ever, actually, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of some other obvious ones. Here's another one for you. So another Cloud9 one here, boys. I'm going to have to go with nothing. How many, at this point in time...
Overrated, you think?
Are you having a laugh? Was that sarcasm?
No, who rates him, though?
I'm not reading chat, but can everyone in chat tell Richard, do people say that nothing's a good player? Let's just see what the response is. I'm not reading it, but I'm sure you'll get to see it.
Yeah, you don't read chat, do you, in case you get triggered?
Don't give a fuck what those plebs say, mate. But yeah, no, the point is, put it this way, when they got that team together, and then everyone was like, oh, Freakazoid's joined, Skadoodle's super sick, Shroud's going really well. Everyone was like, of course, you'd have to remove Freakazoid if you got swag. And I was like, what? You know Freakazoid's the entry fragger, right? The person you remove is obviously nothing, right? Well, I couldn't do that. He's playing sick as well, isn't he? Like, no, not really. Like, like 2 maps out of 10? His entire career's been overrated, mate. He's never lived up to the level that most people say. His life's been overrated.
Come on.
I don't know what the expectations for his life were, to be fair. His career's definitely been overrated, though.
I don't know. I mean...
Mate,
obviously, I'm still thinking about 1.6 Jordan, sort of in the career. So you're right.
He was a joke at 1.6. He was Scream. He's what you just described about Scream right there in 1.6. On LAN, he never did it. He never did shit. He had one map out of something like 100 where he was really, really good.
Yeah, and you're right. It's easy to get sucked into the romance of it. You know, remember?
He had a super sick frag movie. Sure,
yeah. That was amazing, man. Headshots, of course, yeah.
No, here's the problem with nothing. For nothing, it reminds me of Adren. The difference is, okay, on different levels, because no one thinks Adren's a star player. People think Adren's okay, and he's not. But people think nothing's a star player or potentially has the skill to be in that. They talk about potential. I always say this, what potential? Isn't he like 25 now and has been a pro for like fucking 10 years or something? Or at least 8 years? What potential? What's going to happen at this point in time? What magical key is he going to find under his bed that leads to a goblin warehouse? He's already done that, mate. Too late. We've seen that potential. You better invent something stronger. So you better go to South America, motherfucker. You better get down to some Peruvian shaman, and he better hook you up with the real shit. Make you see the center of the universe. Start reading the Matrix, motherfucker. Anyway, my point is, just like with Adren, I would put the question the other way around. What the fuck does nothing have to do to get cut from one of the best NA teams? Kill someone? Does he have to actually say, by the way, guys, you know the way your tea always tasted a little bit fruity? I've been pissing in it every day. What does he have to do to be kicked? I don't know. Install cheats on his computer and do a Kaylee.
Honestly, I'd have never put Jordan on this list because I always thought actually people didn't rate him anymore. Like, think about the Hiko thing. People would turn around and saying, well, yeah, you should have kicked nothing.
No,
like in that war, you know?
People, yeah, at the time, I agree. At the time they were, but now people have come completely around on that one.
Really?
Yeah. So I think he's in there, in the mix at least.
All right. God, I want to think of one more. I'm trying to think, man.
Here's the problem.
Yo.
When I say it, people are going to use retard dodging and be like, but at the last tournament, he was sick. So here we go. Flamey. If you actually go back and look, Flamey had 2 really good tournaments where he was the star player, MVP player. Yeah. 2. And he might have played 18. Now, in all the other tournaments, some of them he was bad. Some of them he was just like a good player. He was like okay level. Problem is, if I start talking about who are the sickest players in CS, I bet most fans would have him in like their top 10. I wouldn't personally, because like I say, 2 tournaments out of the year. So he was insanely sick at this Pro League finals, and he was amazing at ESWC. But beyond that, he often actually was let the team down. He's too erratic in his style of play, and even his style of aiming. It's like he's either going to headshot everyone or he's not going to get the kills, you know. So I would have had Flamey in there as well. Because remember, again, it's relative to what people's... To me, the whole point of this category really is, it's what people's expectation of the player is versus what I think they actually are.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Do you have anyone you want to add in?
I'm still trying to think because like there's a couple of people who I think could be floating around there, but I think I guess I could be won over by your passionate argument about including nothing in the list. I'm literally trying to think of somebody. Somebody a player that people go fucking ham about. And like,
I mean, Tarek would have been a good one, except now people at least don't go. He's a superstar.
That's the thing, isn't it? I think he's been found out a little bit there. So yeah, I mean, and the thing is as well, like I didn't really want to get into NA because it's like, you know what it's like, overrated in an A. That's just par for the course.
Yeah, unfortunately, I agree. Like, put it this way, if I had to list 20 most overrated players, I'm like 15 would be from NA.
Yeah, this is the problem. It's just NA
not even
fans.
Exaggeration, yeah.
Yeah, it's just NA fans. Like, they see a little glimpse of talent, they overhype. I mean, it's probably part of the reason why they don't actually ever go on to fucking deliver, because as soon as you have, like, one good game, one good tournament, everyone's like, oh, best player in the world, eat shit, Euro cunts, blah, blah, blah. And they just go fucking ham on it and just drive it down your fucking throat. That player must be thinking like, holy fucking shit, like if I'm not god mode every fucking tournament, like they apply all this extra pressure to their fucking stars. Like NA fans are just fucking crazy with it, and they've always been that way.
Meanwhile, same fan, like Device will lose some series, drop 20 in the game, and they'll be like, you fucking overrate him, like, great, yeah, brilliant. This is
people in the chat were saying Device has to be on the overrated list. If you think that, fucking stop watching this game. Like, just don't. It's not for you.
Real, isn't it?
There's League. There's Heroes of the Storm.
Again, a whole 12 months. Remember?
Yeah. No, it must be overrated. Not be overrated.
Best player on a team that won like 5 tournaments. But yeah, never mind that.
Yeah, and also as well.
How many did the NA players win again? Oh, 0 tournaments in the whole year. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
People are saying as well, Fox isn't them. No one rates Fox apart from those fucking maniac Portuguese fans
inside their mind. Only people with spare chromosomes think that Fox is the best player.
It's true, mate.
If you think Fox is the best player and you live in England, I genuinely think that the government should give your parents a grant to just take care of you, because you probably can't make it just on your own. So I'm impressed you've got a computer and that you've got your own nickname, probably got PT or Fox in the nickname, like Fox is God, but you need some sort of
Zhao PT Fox Lover 64. Yeah. So, yeah, fuck those guys. Anyway, serious award. Let's do a serious award. Team of the year. This is an easy one as well. Yeah. So we'll get it out the way and both say Fnatic, right?
And IP. What? But Rich, they went 8-7-0 3 years ago. So no, anyway, yes.
Yeah, you're right. That does carry forward. Yeah. No, right. It's Fnatic, right, isn't it? So
it's obviously Fnatic, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so
won 2 out of the 3 majors. They won something like 12 tournaments in total. They had God knows how many top 4s. Like, if I had to guess, I'd say that it's probably over 20 top 4s. I think there was only one tournament all year where they didn't place top 4, which was the DreamHack Cluj, and they lost to the winner.
Yeah.
In fact, in their history, they've only ever failed to face top 4 twice, and both times they lost to the winner. So, I mean, again, it's a team where this is an area where there's no argument against it.
I have no idea what people would even use as a counter argument for me and Fnatic.
Not least since for Fnatic, you can even say that exact lineup is the team of the year. Like, okay, yeah. Envious won a lot of tournaments, but that was over 2 different lineups. It's like split half and half. TSM won a bunch of tournaments, but then they don't have the top 4s to back it up to the same degree Fnatic do. Virtus Pro is either super godlike or could just fade away. So yeah, I don't think there's another team out there, unfortunately.
Yeah, there isn't an argument. There really isn't. Just an amazing level of fucking performance over the course of the year. One of the greatest lineups of all time in any version of Counterstrike, and have proven that you can take an in-game leader out, add add a new player to the lineup who isn't an in-game leader, defer in-game leading duties to somebody who is the most unlikely in-game leader I've ever fucking seen, and still win fucking tournaments. They ended the year fucking strong, and everyone that I talked to, and Moses said it last week. He thinks Fnatic will be the team that dominates the first 3 months of next year as well. And I saw that you gave Envious just the edge in your recent top 10 that you did. But actually, you're right. I agree with you. I think they're clinging onto that by a thread. And that the first tournament of next fucking year is going to probably see Fnatic win it and leapfrog Envious. That's probably in the future. So just an incredible fucking story I still thought Pronax got fucking Judas a little bit. Like, the thing that's going to be really sad about...
I'm just so glad that Das came out of your mouth right there, Rich. I thought that was the end of the show right there.
No, well, I don't even know what you're talking about,
Well,
dude.
just think about the phrase you said, and then I'm glad.
Yeah. No, I know, but I still don't. I still don't.
Okay, I see.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you possibly mean. But yeah, he got Judas a little bit. I thought anyway. I mean, like, sure, if he wasn't
Fuck the Judases.
Yeah, definitely fuck the Judases of this world. So I don't get
control too much, Rich. I mean, the way they fuck with people's lives.
Yeah,
and what they did on are you ready, Rich? On the 9th of November. What they did on the 9th of November in the UK.
God.
Anyway, keep going.
You're real.
Edgy enough.
That's beyond edgy, mate. That's fucking beyond edgy. Fucking. And Christmas as well. When did you turn into Mel Gibson, motherfucker? What's going on here? So anyway, if that's what happened, that's what happened, right? But like, I think it's a real shame that like if this Fnatic lineup goes on to fucking dominate the start of 2016, like I think most pundits think it's going to. It's almost like Pronax's contribution is going to get a little bit. It's going to be diminished, and I think that would suck.
No, that would be bullshit. Because by the way, this Fnatic now isn't playing anything like the one before. Like all of Mites is super sick. That's about the one constant. Their style of play is totally different. Like to me, here's the funny thing: the old Fnatic had like the one of the best mixes I've ever seen between the abusive force buy style and the standard style of like the classical way to play CS. This new Fnatic is just like a Swedish Envious. So it's a totally different team. And if they win it, that's not because they didn't need products. They're winning in a different way.
So back to a funny award, a fun award, which is worst event of the year. Now, obviously,
here's the problem: we can't let our bias get involved here, Rich, because the problem is my answer is obvious, but I think there's one that supersedes it. So my answer, if I'm from my life experience, would be the World Championship by eFrag on Hitbox TV or whatever. But I think the real answer is got to be a Gaming Paradise, right?
Yeah, it's got to be the Paradise one. But like we'll talk about both. Let's do the Paradise one. I mean, first of all, the situation you've got here is, as I said, I still haven't published this interview because obviously it's Christmas. I'm winding down. Be drinking a lot and eating a lot and just enjoying myself as I'm entitled to do at the end of the year. But I did interview the guy, and he's like, "Hey, we're going to run another event, and I got a plan to pay out all this money and all of this horse shit that he's saying." And of course, then it's just been announced a few days ago that no one's getting their prize money. So let's break the event down. You have an event where you get there, you turn up. There's no computers to a fucking standard required to play the fucking game to begin with. They have to take components from computers that are mining bitcoins, right? Which I don't even know why that's happening. All right, they had a bank of like computers that were like mining bitcoins or something.
It's called the ESEA land strategy.
Yeah, exactly right. And they had to take all the components out of those computers to put them in tournament computers. The huge delays that this causes obviously means that they're already in this massive 17-hour deficit or whatever the fuck it was. Then on top of that, you had power cuts and just general failures at the fucking event. You have players getting sick, left, right, and center. They haven't allocated enough accommodation. So some teams in like a room that has like 2 beds, and people are on the floor, on the couch. In these apartments, then the hotel are like going to the players, why the fuck haven't you fucking paid for your rooms? And they're going, well, we don't pay for the rooms. We guess what? Police get called. Titan had their passports confiscated temporarily. So you have all of this nonsense. Then you have the fact that the tournament doesn't even get finished, and the teams have to agree to play like the finals on fucking line or whatever it was, or stay. I can't remember how the fuck they worked it out. And then basically it was like the teams were going to withdraw unless the organization promised to pay out the prize money. They redraft up a contract, and now that contract's null and void because they have no assets, nothing they can liquidate to make money to pay what they owe. So hands down, one of the worst fucking events, and literally the worst event of all time in CS:GO, in my opinion, just predicated on what it happened. I'm so glad I didn't go to it because the invite was there, the option was there, but that was just fucking disastrous, absolute disastrous. But let's talk about the World Championships in Serbia. Come on, Duncan, you do that one.
The problem with that one is the actual tournament did run, and aside from the one day, I think it was day 2. No, it might have been day 3. Oh, fuck, I don't know which one it was. Whichever. There was one day where they did run really late and they had to play a game off stream. So that's like an organizational problem. The problem is the main reason it was bad was just for us. Like the circumstances for us as the casting talent was really bad. But to be fair, that didn't affect the players or the viewers to some degree.
Oh, the fucking DDoSing definitely affected the players. When it became the World Championships of DDoSing, you know, France and Poland doing great work. Russia, of course.
You expected the strong competitors to get in there, and they did get to the final. So
Germany disappointing, really disappointed. So yeah, that was. I mean, yeah, the event was just fucking catastrophic. It's so sad in a way.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Those are the obvious top 2, right? There's nothing can really beat those. But just as an honorary mention, I want to give one more nomination.
Yeah, go.
So I'm going to give, because here's one that people are going to forget, but they should never forget this detail. I'm going to put in the RGN Pro Series, that tournament that was recently, the one that Cloud9 won. Yeah, this is the one where they had 2 things that were ridiculous. One was that whole scenario between Luminosity and Liquid, where the admins decided to let the players decide amongst themselves whether they should replay a round or not. Then when the players said no, said, right, we don't replay the round. And then it turned out after the fact that they were going to have to replay the round. So like it was so off base for admin. It was one of the worst admin decisions I've seen. But secondly, here's the more important detail people forget. Because they decided to have a double elimination best of 3 in the lower bracket, they played best of 3 lower bracket, including the worst teams, played best of 3. So in the final, it ended up being 1 map. Think of the genius of that. You literally ruined the best, most important match of your whole tournament by making it like, I think in the end what they did is just make it where the lower bracket team had to win 2 and Cloud9 had to win 1, and they just won 1, and that was the end of the tournament. Like that is so terrible in terms of just conceptually.
Yeah, I mean that whole thing was like so. I stayed up and watched, you know, a lot of those games, and yeah, it was just so poorly fucking organized. And like you say, you know, terrible adminning decisions, and then to just fucking ruin the final, which is the only reason anyone was clinging on in terms of viewership or anything else. You know, and then like it's 1 map, motherfuckers, deal with it. Like it was mass. It was retarded. That's what the R must have stood for in the fucking tournament name. I was gonna put down kind of a weird one because like I think we would all agree, and the best event's coming, so I'll segue into it. But I think we would all agree that the event of the year, or one, certainly it's a strong contender, was Cluj, Napoca. But actually, in terms of events like I enjoyed, that was one of the worst for me personally. I mean, obviously, DreamHack Winter with all the drama and everything was a particular low point of the year. But the Cluj event, just in terms of how things were going backstage behind the scenes, that was like where I was at. That's where you're grateful there's a fucking Bible in your hotel room. You know, it was one of those, like, just, oh God, maybe there's something in here. Maybe. Leviticus. It was just, you know, it was just fucking ridiculous, like, ridiculously rough. And, like, I don't think we ever talked about it, but, like, again, I don't really give a fuck now. So, I thought it was fucking so fucking bad, like, from a talent perspective. I can think of a few events where I've had to work as hard to keep my shit together. Just the conditions were appalling.
But the sad thing is, it was the best lineup of talent that will probably ever exist in esports.
Yeah, yeah. You know, it was like, but there's a point though. I mean, like you know, you were there. We fucking everything about it was fucking bad. Like the talent was just such a fucking secondary concern. And I'm not talking like, it's not like we go to these fucking events and we want red carpet treatment. Talent doesn't want red carpet treatment ever. There's nobody with that level of fucking ego. Like not even like Anderson Semler demand like, right, I want a rider. I want, like, I'm Semler, so I get 5 blondes. And I don't even know what Anders would want that fucking degenerate, right? But, you know, whatever. Yeah, that's terrifying, isn't it? I think if Anders can make demands for a rider, like, what would he ask for? But, like, we're all pretty humble guys. I know, like, no one will believe that, but that's just the fucking truth. So we go there, and it's just basic shit. Like, no water, get fucked. Like, what, you need water because you're using your voice? Get fucked. You wanna have food at sensible times? Get fucked. Get fucked. None of that. None of that for the first 2 days. So you're having to run around and get your own shit and do that. Meanwhile, you've got these fucking delays kicking in. So you end up broadcasting, I don't know, like or with rehearsals and sound checks and everything else. You're doing these 15-hour days. There's no like quiet area. There's like the green room was like barely a fucking room at all. There's nowhere to like go and get like sleep or rest. You're too far from the hotel to like take naps. So you're running on a constant sleep deficit the entire time. It was ridiculous. And then like obviously the fucking tilting point is like, you know, and you'll remember this. So we're getting told, if you have any problems, anything, come to us, come to DreamHack, we'll fix it, we'll sort it all out. And you fucking, so we're like, okay, well, we haven't eaten today. So we go to the person who shall remain nameless, who has said, come to me if you have fucking problems. And you go there and you're like, dude, we haven't eaten today. And they turn to you and they say, yeah, well, the tournament has to take priority. So we were going to send someone to go get you food. But we decided against that because we need as many hands here as possible. So you don't get to eat. That happened. Like we were just told, fuck you, you don't get to eat. That was when you got triggered.
One thing that, if anyone's watching who organizes a tournament anywhere in the world, like a big one that people like me and you come to, here's a very, very simple tip that will make your event in terms of talent enjoyed like tenfold. So you know how you're spending like $20,000 on all the talent in terms of all the salaries and everything? Why not just spend another $100 on like some drinks, a bit of food? The actual scale of what these people aren't investing doesn't make any sense. It's literally like buying a Ferrari and then never putting enough oil in it, and you're just letting the motor just get used up to fuck, and you're not taking any care of it. Like at that point in time, the additional investment is so small compared to what an incredible, and so that's why I gave the analogy there, because obviously the way just some drinks, some food, a private place. Just the small things there will have such a massive effect on the talent who work your event.
Yeah, but I mean, we were fucking. So I mean, obviously we're all massively tired as well because of all the delays and stuff. We had this situation where it was like they provided a coach to take us to and from the hotel, but it was like, you know, let's say you finished at 10 past midnight, you were probably having to wait until 1 o'clock before you could get the coach. So it was all this like dead time. It was all building up. Everyone was super tired. And like, look, I don't think I'm exaggerating. Like, I can see some people in the chat now are like, what? Oh, no food, no water, like big deal. Like, I don't think people realize how much energy it fucking takes out of you when you're doing a broadcast and you're doing like a prolonged broadcast and you know it's a fucking major and you want to do this like fucking amazing job. I mean, as it is, we only got fucking hot food provided for us because Twitch did the catering. So DreamHack didn't do the catering. Twitch had to fucking do the catering, and we had to go and get food from Twitch, the fucking Twitch lounge. Like, why are Twitch providing talent with dinner? It was unbelievable, and it was snowballing out of control. It got to the point where the talent were just like, look, motherfuckers, like we need these fundamental basics, like we need bottled water. And none of this, by the way, was down to the fact we were in Romania. So if anyone wants to say that, like, oh, well, of course it happens. You're in Romania. They don't have all of this. They haven't got the infrastructure. Bullshit. It was just an oversight, plain and simple. That the talent was just so far down on the list of fucking priorities. We didn't get thought about until it got to the point where people were so pissed off. And this is why I felt so aggrieved by what happened by the end of the year. Because I was like the guy that was like trying to go and mediate between all the parties. Like, look, does anyone need anything? I'll talk to DreamHack. We can all get through this, guys. Let's all be bros. But the conditions were just ridiculous. Like, we were fucking fragged by the final fucking day. Like, I mean, I could. The sleep that we had over the course of that time was just unbelievable. With all the delays and everything. So, I mean, like, for me personally, that event was fucking unbelievably tough. That was one where it was like, I'm not even sure if I want to do this fucking hosting stuff anymore. And then, of course, you get to winter and that drama happens. And that's why, again, I was like, well, you know, I tried so fucking hard when DreamHack were dropping the ball to fucking do right by them, and then this shit's happened. And sure, it's unacceptable. Sure, it's bad judgment on my part. Whatever the fuck. But I mean, you don't need to fucking completely feed me to the wolves like they did. You know, that's why I felt aggrieved by that. But anyway, moving on to best event for me in terms of what we put out and what was fucking watched and viewed by people. Definitely Cluj for me that year. Like I got back and watched some of the VODs, and I don't often do that. You know, it was you know, it was actually pretty good. Like it was a really good level of broadcast. The producers at DreamHack, Nicholas did like a fucking sick job. It really came across like a professional broadcast, I thought.
No, I think on all levels, Cluj does actually win. Now, what's funny is people are going to think, because we picked Cluj, that we're just thinking of in recent history. No, think of any of the other majors. Think of any other tournament. First of all, the thing that Cluj had is, I mean, a couple of the majors had this as well, but not all of them. It had every single good team you'd want there. So there's that for a start off. It had every really good team there. Then at the event itself, it had the best talent lineup we've ever seen. Then it had really great matches at all points of the tournament. Like, remember that some of the teams got upset in the group stage. Like NIP only made it to the semi-finals because they had that great comeback against Team Liquid. And then you had other scenarios where the similar thing, Luminosity beat out Fnatic. And so then actually Cloud9 doesn't get out because they have to play Fnatic in a best of 3. So then throughout the playoffs, every round was just fire. I mean, think of the matches we had. Fnatic versus Envious. Everyone wanted to see that matchup. TSM gets upset by NIP.
Yeah.
The Na'Vi versus Luminosity one was like a really close 2-0. Obviously, G2 beating VP is a massive score. But then you keep going. On the other side of the bracket, G2 have that amazing series against the Envious guys. Na'Vi go God mode and give us like an incredible match against NIP. And then the final, obviously, Na'Vi against Envious, even though it was a 2-0, one of those maps very close. And okay, that was a game. That final did drop off a little bit. But for the totality of the tournament, I think it was the best.
Yeah, and I think it's worth mentioning as well, going right back to the start of the year, I thought MLG Aspen was like a fucking sick event as well. I love that one. That was...
If Cluj hadn't happened, I would have picked that as my tournament.
Yeah. I mean, but, you know, it had everything. The production value was high, had some great games. You know, some of the best series of the year were played at that tournament. So, yeah, it's a fucking strong contender. I mean, that is a calling card. That's why MLG is getting a major in 2016, basically, because that event was fucking phenomenal. No doubt about it. Now, this is where...
Run, by the way, just for a third one, ESL 1 Cologne.
Yeah.
I mean, some fantastic matches, some really compelling storylines. I wasn't at the event, but it all looked good in the stadium. I had a good, decent talent lineup.
Stadium was amazing. Like in terms of how good it was, just like to the atmosphere. Once like we got out there, I was sat in like the little VIP area with like the fans who'd bought the VIP tickets and having a few beer with the fans and like filming the games. Like the atmosphere was amazing. A huge capacity crowd, which was one of the things that Cluj was sadly lacking until like the last day. And there were lots of mitigating circumstances around that. You know, and the atmosphere was still good in the stadium, but compared to Cologne, that atmosphere was superior, no doubt about it. And yeah, like you say, the Virtus Pro Fnatic series was fucking just ridiculous. Should have fit for a final. Absolutely amazing game. So yeah, it was that was a strong contender as well. Like we actually had. I do just want to say though.
As a final thought from me, at least on that topic, people are probably going to be like, well, I mean, it's obvious you're just only picking the majors. Well, no. Definitely not ESL 1 Katowice. So just want to say definitely not even close to the event.
Yeah, well, hang on. If we were going to do that, we should have dropped that in. Should have dropped that in earlier, mate. But yeah, we may as well mention it. But
I was clarify, definitely not one of the best events of the year, you know.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
There's something about the ambience. It didn't quite capture the magic that I really need from a big esports event. You know, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to blame the crowd. I don't want to blame the venue or anything, but something about it was just wrong. There's just something wrong with that event for me, Rich.
I don't know what it could be. Can't think what it could be.
It just left me kind of wanting more, and it couldn't quite fill that existential hole inside me that needs like really good esports to fill. See, I was the pole in that example, Richard.
It's good. Well done, mate. You're very, very empathetic of you. This is Best Newcomer to the Scene award. So that can be in any capacity, I guess. So who would you give for this one?
So we're talking about players, yeah?
It can be a player, it can be an analyst, it can be a caster, it can be anyone.
Yeah, let's think then. Let's think this through.
Yes.
Because here's the thing, if we're talking about purely just, if we can include on-camera talent,
Yeah, we can, yeah.
two obvious names come to mind, which would be Sneakiest and Moses. I think those two would be strong contenders.
Yeah, I mean, so let's talk about those two there. I mean, first of all, Colin Moses and newcomer, I guess that's a little bit, but you're right, he is a newcomer in terms of on-camera talent. But let's talk about Sneakiest. So Sado is someone who gets like, you know, I do notice that he has this weird sort of mood, like there's a group of people who it's always the same names on Reddit, always shitting on him. I mean, that just happens with any degree of success. But I think he's got a great voice, great look. I think he's a really good caster. I really actually rate his skills and ability. I think he's someone who brings something a bit different. And what's really good about him is that he's versatile in the sense that he can be a desk host. Like I'm pretty sure with me obviously not doing any DreamHack events, it could be Sneakiest that moves in and fulfills that role. I mean, he might be a desk host. He's capable of doing that. He was getting up on stage and doing interviews at points in his career. So definitely a real strong contender. He's got a very broad skill set. And of course, as we know from this show, that motherfucker can drink gin like no one else. So good for him. Also, Moses.
Okay,
yeah,
keep going.
No, I was going to say, and also for Moses, an incredible analyst, a great mind, and just a great guy to fucking work with. By the way, like seriously, like backstage, always on point, knows the mood, can read the room. Great, you know, if anyone's having a bad time, Moses knows what to say and knows what to do. But just like I think he's just immaculate in his delivery of points, and crucially, and Sneakiest has this as well, but I would argue Moses has this to a great degree, is never afraid to go against the desk. So, like, when a host, like, say, for example, myself, I might make a postulation. Like, sometimes I have to say stuff that I know in my head isn't the correct way to interpret it. So I might say something like, well, they got 14 rounds, so... you know, that they were in that game. It was competitive, right? And of course, it might not be. They might have won both the pistols. They might have fluked a few rounds. You know, it could be deceptive. I mean, 14 rounds, exaggeration. Let's say 10 or whatever. And obviously, it's wrong. It's not true. Actually, the scoreline flatters. Well, Moses, the guy, will go, "Nah, I think you're wrong there, Rich. I think that's complete nonsense, and this is why." And he'll give his point. Whereas you'll see other analysts, they'll go, "Yeah, I mean," you can tell they don't quite believe it. And they'll go, "Yeah, that was a competitive game." And then as soon as you're off camera, they go, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And I'm like, "I was setting you up to disagree with me. That's what I was doing." You know, but they didn't feel comfortable doing it. Moses don't give a fuck. If you're talking shit, Moses will call you out on camera. And I think that's brilliant. I think that's needed. So the other name for me, and I know you'll agree with this as well, Yanko, definitely strong content.
For Tamlet, yeah. Here's the thing, though. Out of those names, like if I had to pick just on-camera talent, I'd probably just go with Sneakiest, because when you consider he wasn't a known guy before this year, and he's now got to a very high level, and he did a lot of work over the whole year, that's an obvious one for me. If you want to talk about players, though, I think here's the thing. There's two names in terms of players, and I think it's probably obvious as to who will actually win. So the one that I would probably give out of players is I would give it to Cold Zero, because this is a guy I didn't know anything about until about like halfway into this year, maybe a bit more, maybe like 7 or 8 months into the year. But in the sort of 4 months he has played, has been an absolute revelation and really one of the best players in the world. I mean, the funny thing is, before that, I guess Fur had a similar position before him, but his team wasn't quite as good. But no, I'd say Cold Zero. Here's the sad thing about this category, though, Rich. Even as phenomenal as Cold Zero has been, admittedly only for like a third of the year, there's one person should have won this category hands down. No one would have been able to touch him, except he couldn't get into teams and he couldn't stay in teams long enough. So if Simple had played in a top 10 team and had played every event this year, he would win this category hand down. Yeah. He's absolutely one of the best players in the entire, even now, still. Remember, he started going God mode, something like, I think it was around like May or June is when he started going crazy. So he's actually not even dropped off. He kept this insane form up, but he plays for no-name teams and he plays fucking FPL. So I can't give him this category, can I?
Nah, you can't. I think if you needed a runner-up in the player department, like I was going to say Cold Zero as well. This guy is a fucking bona fide superstar, in my opinion. And again, just to say, all your NA people making excuses about how your pug stars can't translate into teams. Oh, we don't have good in-game leaders. We don't have good coaches. We don't have stable rosters. Cold Zero was picked up as an unknown fucking quantity from the fucking Brazilian scene, and Fallen picked him up and said, this is the player we need to become explosive. Right? I had nothing but confidence in picking up this guy. And Fallen even changed role within that team to accommodate this guy. Right? So that's what your in-game leaders should be doing. That's what happens when you're having a competent in-game leader who fucking actually can scout talent. Right? And they don't have the infrastructure or the fucking support of any fucking NA team. And yet look at the gem they were unable to earth in the form of Cold Zero. Hands down. Like, he could have been in contender for fucking player of the year if he'd been playing a little bit longer, you know? So that's how fucking good he is. So there's no doubt he's the fucking best newcomer. No fucking doubt whatsoever. But I'm trying to think. I would probably say if I had to give a runner-up, Nico with a K, obviously. I mean, I think since he got his chance to sort of break out in that mouse sports team on an individual level, even though that team didn't perform, but on an individual skill basis, I think he's fucking great. You know, he's had some incredible matches, incredible series. I don't know if you agree
he was
with
good. The problem is he didn't play that many lands. That's the thing. So
yeah.
That's the difficulty there.
But yeah, so I mean, but it's in terms of players, it's hands down Cold Zero. I was gonna say a little bit actually, just about, because I know we don't talk about ESL talent a lot on the show. So back to the talent thing, I think it's probably worth just giving a little shout out to Machine. Yeah,
we just did it. There we go. There's the end of the little shout out, and back to the regular programming, guys.
No. But I mean, because so just a story that people don't realize. Machine was never going to be a desk host, I don't think. Like, they were never going to throw him into that role. Like,
some say he never was.
That's
just a joke. Can't keep
going. I know. This is why I want to give him a shout out, because his first ever desk hosting gig came because which drama was it I was involved in? I think it was the D-Man thing. No, because it can't have been San Jose. There was some reason I couldn't do an ESL event. It might have been my Mark Merrill video that I did that precluded me from doing an event. I can't even remember. Fuck knows. There's so much bullshit in politics in esports. But there was some reason I couldn't do an event. And they were like, well, at this short notice, we're probably just going to use Machine.
Wasn't it because of the package?
Could have been that one. Could have been that drama. I don't know, man. There was some reason. I mean, because obviously it's happened to me a bunch, you know, like I get told, hey, you're going to do this event. And then like I just express an opinion and you can't do the event anymore. Why? You just can't. It's esports, motherfucker. So yeah, anyway, he basically got thrust into doing it in my absence. And I thought his first one, he was nervous. He had a weird setup as well. It was like a fucking 5-man desk or something, which is like literally all you got time to do is like, so what do you think? 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 Let's go to a game. So yeah, he was. I think he's done a great job. And loads of people are saying, how can you not mention Jacob?
Because he had like fucking 2 tournaments that were really good.
That's what I was thinking. I don't think he's done quite enough. Good player, but you know, yeah, he needs to. 2016, I think, could be a strong contender for something if he keeps that level of performance up. Anyway, that's best newcomer out the way. So what was the other ones we've got left to do? Right, so these are all just funny ones now at this point. So there's no more serious ones. Sneakiest move of 2015.
That could apply in so many ways.
That's how I do my awards, man. Nice and open.
Sneakiest move of 2015. Probably when are you ready, Rich? You like Edge? I know you like Edge, mate.
I love it, mate.
You know when Hiko was in negotiations to join Team Liquid, and then someone, we'll never know who, just leaked to the press that he was asking for twice as much as his teammates before he'd signed the contract. And the weird thing is, you'd think in that scenario when a deal hasn't been completed, only a couple of people could know what people were asking for. So whoever did that, whatever sort of state that person might be in, a gas, a liquid, a solid, who can know? Might be animal, mineral, vegetable. I covered it up pretty well there, Rich. Whoever did that is quite the snake in the grass, a very sneaky individual, I believe.
Indeed.
Edgy enough for you there, Rich? Edgy
pretty
enough?
edgy. It's pretty edgy.
What's great is a lot of people won't know really what I'm talking about there, but anyone who's an insider in the industry, that's fire, mate. That's fucking fire. Well, or not fire, as the case may be.
What about the?
I think I'm like a Bond villain at this point. Don't I? I was tearing the scenery up, mate.
I do it, mate. What about the first attempt at exclusivity?
That's a pretty good one. Because what annoyed me about that is it was a classic Riot style move, actually, even though it was in CSGO, where it's like, oh, I never was trying to do that. Now that I know everyone will fight me on it. Where did this idea come from? I will now do something as a compromise towards that. So yeah, that was bullshit, the idea they tried to do an exclusive league.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is as well, it was literally like, ESL are just going to have to eat this one. It was done. Put it this way, it was a group sneak. It wasn't just ESL. Like, everybody was complicit in it. Originally Vulcan were involved.
Fuck them. Fuck Vulcan.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely fuck them. We love you, Alphadraft. But yeah, so like Vulcan were involved. What the fuck else, man? There was fucking, obviously, in that room. I'm trying to think who else was there. All the team owners knew as well, by the way. All the team owners that went to that meeting were happy to discuss the possibility of competing in an exclusivity league and keep it a secret. And it happened in Twitch's offices, by the way. All the
CSGO team owners were in on this, sneaky little monkeys.
Yeah, exactly, mate. So yeah, there was a lot. I mean, some people were pushing it, some people didn't want it, obviously, but they were still. None of them went public about it. It took the story being leaked, and I get credited for this. People don't realize. Yeah, I was aware of it. Yeah, I was getting calls. Yeah, my sources were blowing up. Yeah, my phone was blowing up. HLTV did their bit as well, and it's rare HLTV do good journalism. But that was a joint report. We compared notes, traded sources. So the idea that HLTV don't want what's best for themselves and obviously the CSGO scene, which is they're inextricably linked, is nonsense.
I've got one for you. I've got one you haven't thought of, Rich.
Go on, yeah, go on.
There was a guy who is an actor. And the problem with actors, right, is if it's on a movie, they could pretend to do something. If you took an actor who'd played like on ER and put him in an actual hospital, obviously he would never be able to actually do the operations. So it'd be really difficult for him to go undetected. Here's what's brilliant about this. This actor, this young guy who'd studied a lot about society, he actually snuck into the CSGO pro scene and for the entire year pretended to be the in-game leader of Team Liquid and pretended he was an AWPer and actually pretended he was in any way competent. And the thing is, his cover was brilliant. He used to get this team of people to write these lines for him that he'd talk about in his videos. He had a method acting, and so he used to do method acting and everyone would be like, wow, so knowledgeable in the videos. But then in the game, I mean, eventually it was confirmed he obviously wasn't an actual CSGO pro. So the sneakiness of being able to steal a year's worth of salary and con all those people, that's incredible.
So who was it?
Adren.
Right. But what's his real name? What's the actor's name?
Don't know, because the problem is it's just some no-name actor, and this is the only way he could get relevance in the world is to pretend to be this shit CS player.
Right. I mean, that's definitely one way of looking at it. Not one I'd necessarily subscribe to. The team owners demands, the little team owners union that they put together. I'd say that's definitely a shout for being sneaky because they sent this fucking email out to all of the teams and they were like, well, we're not going to do this unless it's this, not going to do this unless it's this, and this standard has to be met and all that. Didn't even consult their own fucking players who they were arguing they were lobbying for. Didn't consult any of those guys. So it was like, yeah, our players want this, and this. You didn't even ask your own players. That's some sneaky ass shit right there. What the fuck is that?
I've got another one for you.
Yeah,
bearing in mind an entire 12 months has passed, it's almost certain that at some point in 2015, Navi's players must have signed a new contract. So at whatever point in time that happened, however they did it, I don't know, locked them in a room, injected them with a poison that only they had the cure to, and which would be activated as soon as they had signed upon a certain dotted line, it would like open the vials, you know. I don't know what they did, but however they got those Navi players to sign those contracts, that's just unreal. That's the level of sneak there.
Well, yeah, fuck yeah. I mean, because, yeah, well, I don't want to be too specific about that, but you're right. There's something not quite right there. And look, I think I thought it was funny, actually. Again, this is a bit of a League of Legends thing. It's a bit of a tangent. But like Na'Vi get this. This will fucking blow your mind. So Na'Vi did an interview. They've got a League of Legends team now. You know, it's not brilliant. It's a bunch of people who've flirted on the peripheries of LCS and that sort of stuff. And they said, we've got concerns about all of these teams coming in and buying organizations and buying placements. We don't think it's good for the ecosystem. Hang on a minute, right? Wasn't your entire success predicated on the fact that a fucking wealthy Kazakhstani gas magnate called Arbalest, funded your 1.6 team, giving you an unprecedented amount of money, unprecedented spending potential in the CIS region, so you could basically fucking assemble a team that was going to work with no risk of your own, and it went on to become one of the most successful teams of all time with all of that support and infrastructure, which again was unprecedented in the region. And you didn't give a fuck about the ecosystem back then. You definitely didn't. It's one of the most hypocritical load of bullshit I've ever seen. Like when you've got the money to spend, Na'Vi don't give a fuck about the ecosystem, and never did. And now, we've got real people now with like we got billionaires coming into the scene. Yeah, this could be a problem. Yeah, it's great, actually. A lot of the owners are like that, by the way, now. All the people who have wielded their unprecedented spending power, unprecedented sponsorships, all the people who've held monopolies in their fucking scene now are complaining because the real fucking people who get
I've got the analogy for you here, Rich. You're going to like this. You know, I'm not a football guy. Basically, all of these guys right now are Alex Ferguson and Man United fans.
Yeah.
Oh, they just bought their team. What the fuck do you think Man United did for 15 years, mate? All they did, I'm not joking, all Man United used to do was, whoever the top scorers were, they'd just always go to them, hey, you want to join Man United? Some of them did, some of them didn't. Some of them famously didn't, like Alan Shearer, etc. Yeah, so some of them didn't, but they literally used the fact they were the most popular club and unprecedented spending power to get the best players. Then, when Man City did exactly the same thing, but in a shorter span of time, they were like, that's unfair. They spent more money than us. Like, yeah, play the game, bitch.
Mate, it's like Chelsea fans ragging on Man City fans.
It's unreal, isn't it?
Are you fucking serious? Yeah. And they're going, yeah, but he's only a Russian magnate with ties to organised crime. He's from Saudi. How can we compete with that? So can you even fucking hear yourself right now? You fucking deluded cockney cunts. What's wrong with you? It's unreal. Yeah, so don't get me started on that. But anyway, so there's that. I'm trying to think. I had one other sneaky move. Fuck, and I forgot it now.
What about when that League of Legends caster tried to put himself into like the major final? It's pretty sneaky. Instead of the two best casters in the world. So Anders and Semler are the premier casting duo. They didn't do the ESL Cologne final because the room was possessed by the spirit of some evil D-man.
Come on.
It was D-Man. He just snuck in.
Yeah, I know that. Final. Obviously, yeah. I know that. Just say, be explicit.
Okay, I'm being explicit.
Do you consider that one of the sneakiest moves of 2015? Yes or no?
It is sneaky if you think about it. I mean, specifically getting to do the major final. Like the rest of it's fine. You work for the company. They're going to do something with you. You're probably not fit for any kind of housework or anything. So you got to do something. But putting yourself in the final, that's some sneak shit.
All right. So there we go. I've remembered what it was now. So sneakiest fucking move.
This is actually the best category, you realise, because we can just fit anything into this if we want to. Basically, this is just like cunt of the year, but we've renamed it to sneaky. Like, it sounds funnier there. Like, he's just a sneaky guy, isn't he? Total cunt, like, absolute piece of shit. Detritus.
This award may as well be called cunts. The cunts of 2015. I mean, seriously though, right? The Raheem thing.
Okay.
I mean, serious. And again, I'll repeat it. I'll repeat what happened. And fuck all the people who were there. your Henrys, DDKs,
Okay.
and your Vendettas that said, Richard, we don't want to get involved in the drama. Don't tell the truth, guys, because you're worried about what the Reddit fucking idiots will do, right? But anyway, so at that Ace of Predator Masters, this guy, Raheem, who I'm told is a 35-year-old man, basically got upset while we were doing a late night 4-way drunken cast, which is normal for Take TV events, normal for the Home Story Cup. He sat there in silence, not casting, when he was the only designated play-by-play guy there, to the point where one of his fucking fans, who obviously all have the mental age of a 12-year-old, because that's what his broadcast level is pitched at, said, I think Babam, beloved Babam, right, named after his favourite noise that he makes with his mouth. That's how sophisticated this cunt is, right? Poor Babam, he is not having good time. He is sat there with sad face. Right, keep in mind that after DreamHack fucking Winter, by the way, all of that fucking drama, I still went on fucking stage and did a show, and you wouldn't have thought there was anything fucking wrong. Even though knowing inside it's probably the last DreamHack I'm going to do. Right? I just still went and did a professional job, but I'm the unprofessional one. This little cunt sits there, almost crying on the fucking couch, because he's got to deal with 3 drunken people, which is the whole fucking point of the broadcast, and it's the only event you're ever going to get. Then, after the Reddit thread blows up about how I'm some sort of serial bully because I said, come on, Raheem, do your babam thing, which might have come across as a little condescending, but obviously, that is what he's there to do. He is there to do the babam thing. So we all come in the next day, looking at the fucking Reddit thread, and I'm just like, oh, once again, Richard Lewis is the bad guy. He's the unreasonable one. Everyone else took issue with this, but once again, it's Richard Lewis, of course. Richard Lewis is the problem. Henry didn't help with his tweet. This is my idea of hell. Meaning, listening to Raheem sit there and not do his job was his idea of hell. Not Richard Lewis is my idea of hell. Because he never say that. And in fact, in an interview on HLTV, he's like, yeah, I owe everything to Richard. Yeah, no one's talking about that, you fucking cunt. So anyway, the next day we come in and we sit down with Raheem and we were like, is everything all right, mate? Because, a lot of people have got the impression that, you're not having a good time and you're being bullied. And I said, I'm not bullying you, am I? I mean, I've been super friendly. I've tried to include you in everything we've done. As soon as you got here, I was like, oh, come and meet the guys. I introduced you all again. So I'm definitely not bullying you, am I? And he said, yeah, well, I cannot necessarily agree. And I'm like, what do you mean you can't agree? I'm definitely not bullying you, mate. No, but during the cast, it was not how I like to do things. All right, mate, so what can we change to accommodate you? I do not want to work with you. What? I want to work with Fabe. Now, Fabe he's doing the German fucking stream. He's not even meant to be part of the talent lineup. So he's just openly rejecting working with everyone on the talent lineup, saying, I don't want to work with you. And I'm like, oh, right. I guess we could do that. I don't mind. But maybe if you just did a couple of games where it was like just 2 of you, maybe where Henry's No. All right. Okay, well, we'll definitely do that for you. But could you please diffuse this situation? Just go on social media and say, no one's bullying you here. No, I can go on social media if you want me to say what I think. Like, basically just blackmailing us. Like, I'll go on Twitter and call you all cunts and say you are bullying me because my retarded fan base believes it's possible for fucking a 35-year-old man to get bullied doing a job. And then for the rest of the event, the proof, obviously, that this happened is in the pudding, in the fact that him and Fabe casted. They even made him a fucking soundboard, which is ironic considering that's all he is anyway, right? They made him a soundboard just so he could do his fucking shit style of casting, while the rest of us were just like, well, Raheem's up, so we're not allowed. We're not doing anything. So, sneaky cunt. 100% sneaky cunt.
I do. He got to the very end to explain why he was sneaky. The rest was just why he's a cunt. At the end, but I will add a sneaky cunt.
I don't give a fuck, right? Because I've already had to eat the fucking dick for that one. I've already had to eat the great Reddit dick straight down my gullet. Like, oh no, Reddit, I'm gagging, I'm choking on. I just had to put up with it, didn't I? Like, the facts are that. Do you remember when he bullied Raheem? Didn't know wonder he's choking people at events. Yeah, it's all part of a long fucking narrative, isn't it? Don't believe the fucking truth, though. Don't believe that. Just believe the 35-year-old man who makes fucking bang noises with his mouth and talks like a fucking child. Believe him. Definitely believe him. Anyway, so there you go. Sneakiest cunt or whatever the word was called. I can't even remember. Fuck that shit. Right. Worst roster change of 2015.
This is going to be a hard one, actually.
Yeah, there's some brutal ones on this.
Yeah, let me think. What would we pick? Yeah, the problem with this is all the teams that were successful, I can't think of any that made one that really like took them downhill. So it can't be someone successful. It's probably got to be someone who's like decent, but then it fucked their chances up. So,
I can think of a couple off the top of my head.
Okay, like what?
The Hellraisers one, where they lost Simple and was it Markelov went out at the same time?
No. Yeah, you might be right. Actually, I think they both went at the same. Okay, the beginning of the year, yeah.
Yeah, right at the start of the year.
Yeah, but the problem with that is they actually still won that Ace of Predators Masters afterwards, though. That's still better than they were going to do otherwise.
Yeah, and they had a fucking miracle run to do it.
Yeah, but the problem is Simple was apparently a massive cunt, so I don't even blame him for that. Like, I can't really blame him for that much. Kind of like, you should stick with him, even though he's a piece of shit. I can't blame him for that. The motherfucker just went... Every time Simple's like not in a competitive team, I'm not joking, he just like goes on stream and he's like, can I borrow a knife? And then just like takes it from all his fans. Like that's not even like people are debating whether like I'm an asshole or whatever. This guy just straight up takes like people's knives like, I won't give it back. Fuck you.
P.S.
Are you of German heritage by any chance? Like, anyway, yeah, what else could there be? That's pretty good, isn't there? Let me think. There was when Team Liquid got that shit coach.
Oh, don't worry, mate. That's coming up.
Yeah, that's going to be my selection. When Team Liquid traded out nothing, like literally zero, empty chair for GBJames. That was a terrible downgrade. I think it ruined the whole dynamic of the team. They were going places when they had nothing. When they had the empty chair, I feel like they could have accomplished a lot. The players were free. They kind of had the motivation and the good morale in the team. But when they got in GBJames, all that went away for me.
You're right. GBJames over a space. But yeah, the Simple Markelov one. I mean, like, there's an argument to say like Titan got the worst end of the deal when the whole French Revolution thing happened.
Can that count as a roster move though? Because didn't those people just leave them?
It's kind of, they did sort of technically swap, kind of. We could say that. I think that it's not technically, but come on, we're struggling in this category.
True.
So there's that. I'm trying to think what else. There's got to be an obvious one. Okay, so some people are saying Makalele leaving NIP. I think that's too much of an unknown quantity. I don't think he had enough time in the lineup to say whether or not NIP would have been super successful. And my gut feeling is they would have been. They would have done better with Makalele.
I don't think that's a bad one. That's not a bad one, actually.
No, I don't think it's a bad one. I don't either. But I don't think there's enough of a sample size to necessarily judge. They won that assembly event I was working at. And as I said, my observations from that event were Makalele was fitting into the NIP team. It seemed to be working. And he seemed to embrace the whole, he was like the most popular player there. Like, he was signing autographs 24/7. Seemed to be really reveling in it. Played well. He was the MVP in the semi-final and the final for them at that event. Hands down, by the way. I think they could have gone places, but apparently his mood is the way things work. I think he's in a better place now with G2, if I'm honest. So it's worked out for him. But yeah, I think that's a possibility. There's the Penta one. Who did they lose in Penta?
They lost all the three guys who went over the mouse.
The three guys that could play. Dennis,
Spiddy, and Dennis.
Yeah. So there's that. I mean, that's inarguably bad because Penta was sort of the breakthrough fucking German team, and then basically they lose those three players to go on to give Mouse Sports the platform to move forward. And where the fuck are Penta now? What the fuck are Penta doing? So that's one. Trying to think. There's got to be a more obvious one. What about Shazam at Cloud9?
The problem is that was the end of last year.
Oh, was it? Oh, shit. Definitely can't include that then. There's got to be rules.
The problem is, again, once we get down to these teams, they're not great ones. Like, I mean, I thought one that wasn't very good was... fuck, the problem is I'd have to remember who they removed. But when... whoever Team Liquid... no, I actually get that one doesn't count, I guess, because the problem is if you want to be fair on a roster move, it has to be also who they took in at the same time. They can't do one that was like later on. Like, for example, at the time, I would have said like removing Naf live in Team Liquid wasn't that fair, but to be fair, I think that was actually a liege they added instead of him, so that was an upgrade, obviously, in that particular case. But it's hard for this one actually, because like I said, a lot of the successful teams didn't make any kind of big bad roster move. Like, for example, the two that could have been in this category is if Envious or Fnatic had failed. But actually, both of them had a different type of really fantastic success right after the big roster move. So I'm not really sure who you can pick for this. It's hard.
Dignitas, I mean, overall could get this award because they had, let's not forget the whole Schneider debacle, which, again, the truth about that hasn't come out yet, which I'm amazed. Right? Because now everyone knows it, like players-wise and personalities-wise. So... that was ridiculous. Bringing Schneider into that team, you're like, yeah, this is going to be great. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, we've had one event with him. And that's because, for reasons that remain unspoken. So that was like, they put a huge investment in there. They basically changed the whole sort of dynamic of the team to accommodate him. Nico out, Schneider in, which is a good move on paper, but in actual fact, it was a real bad fucking call. Real bad call. And then Dignitas follow that up by you lose AZ and Pimp on the same fucking day. Now, I know we haven't really seen a lot of Dignitas since, but, I mean, that can't be good. It just can't be good to lose that caliber of player.
Yeah, I think that one's the hardest one, worst roster over the year.
So, I mean, that's up there. But anyway, I guess no strong feelings about that. It wasn't as good as, like, biggest cunt of 2015. Now, you didn't suggest a lot of these awards, but you did suggest one.
Yeah.
Biggest NA disappointment.
It's a good award, right?
Why does NA get one, but like the Europe doesn't? Because
it was a trick. The actual answer is biggest disappointment of the year, NA.
Is that really what you had fucking planned all along?
The biggest
was that your plan?
Disappointment of NA in 2015 was the actuality of what circumstances came to be in 2015. So that what they all did, the course of their lives and the actions that happened within them, the hopes and dreams they expressed, the things they said, the things they did, all of those were a huge disappointment ultimately.
So I mean that was literally where you were going with that. You didn't have a specific.
No. I mean we can think of one for that because obviously that one has a lot of options on it.
Yeah, it does. Let me think, man, because obviously you kind of threw me this curveball. So it definitely can't be Cloud9, by the way.
No,
it cannot be Cloud9. They had they made 3 finals in a row. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Cloud9 at both of the majors was suck dick.
Yeah, but come on.
No, actually, that's a good one. ASL 1 Cologne, Cloud9. They were supposed to be like a potential top 4 team. They didn't get out the groups. They lost the fucking... Wasn't it like... No, who was it? They lost the King win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't that great, mate. Remember, that was when they were like a top 5 ranked team in the world. They didn't even get out the groups.
Yeah, but shit happens, right?
Let me again reiterate what I've said before, Rich. Luminosity's team made all 3 major round of 8s. No NA team made the top 8.
You don't need to tell me. I'm Luminosity retweet all the good shit I say about them. I'm in your position right now. Where it's like Luminosity think I'm like their friend or a fanboy or something, and obviously when they start playing shit or Taco turns into a fucking dog shit retard or whatever's going to happen in the future, and I'm like, hey,
does he turn into Rich?
Well, look. Bottom line is the jury's still out.
All along, Austin. It was me all along. Anyway.
You're fired. Right, anyway.
No, actually, I'm going to pick that, Rich. I'm going to pick. Here's what I'm going to pick. Cloud9's performance at the majors. Because they were the best NA team. And they didn't make a single major round of 8.
Okay.
They had 3 chances, for fuck's sake. I know at one they were all on Adderall, but... Even when they took performance-enhancing drugs, Rich, and they were in fucking Poland, they still couldn't make the round of 8. What more did they want to do? Just poison the water supply, fucking cross your fingers, yell jinx. Wait, what more could they have done?
Yeah.
They were even on drugs. They couldn't get to the round of 8.
Yeah. I mean, we'll never know if they were on drugs.
Okay, yeah.
We'll never know. That's how I like to frame it. We'll never know, Duncan. We'll never know. The urine tests were inconclusive after they melted the test tubes that they were put in. So we'll never know. No, I had something for this. Winter Fox, dude. Winter Fox, man. Let's just get into the fucking shit with this, right? So before they were Winter Fox, what were they called again? Was that the old Luminosity before the Brazilians become Luminosity, or is my brain fucked up?
That's
right. Oh, it was, right? Yeah, good.
Luminosity.
So, okay, Winter Fox get into the scene. They were being talked about as potential buyers for G2, what is now G2 Kingwin or whatever the fuck. Thank fucking God that didn't happen. Wouldn't wish that on anyone. So this fucking org is just a fucking disaster from start to fucking.
By the way, just as a general thing as well.
Yeah.
Like again, I know because of the iBUYPOWER thing and like the Shazam thing and all the rest of it. Remember that was last end of the year for everyone. I just want to mention that. Like that's not.
Yeah. That can't be in this year, unfortunately.
Like if you suggest that, then I want that fucking Willy Wonka gift to come up where he's like, "You lose, sir. Good day," or whatever. Like,
Tell me more about what you think happened in 2015. That one, right? So anyway, when that team was assembled and back when it had the original lineup and it was like I don't know, like fucking what was it? Pyth had just gone out there and it's like anger, blah blah blah. Them motherfuckers. It looked like we even said. I mean, like if people can rewind the show, I don't know which episode it would be. But we were talking about them as being a surprise package. They actually did quite well to begin with, but slowly it just eroded. It got fucking chipped away, and like literally anyone who knows anything about this scene knows how fucking poor Winter Fox is run as an organization. They got a manager there called Brian fucking Caudry. This guy is a fucking legendary fuck up. Like just an all-time great fuck up. This is the guy who even Crepo, who is one from League of Legends, who's one of the fakest motherfuckers in the world, right? Like day 9 levels of fakery. This guy fucking came out and called out Brian Caudry, and he usually steers away from anything vaguely controversial. This is a guy who ingratiates himself into every Reddit thread. Like, someone will put up a Reddit post on the League of Legends subreddit, like, I'm thinking about a clever way to ask my girlfriend to marry me. Crepo, top comment. I can do it for you if you want. Not PR, guys. Not PR. It's not PR. I genuinely am this nice. Honest. It's all true. It's not fake. Anyway, so this guy called him out because a League of Legends player, he didn't have enough space in the house for all the players to have beds and sleep. In a fucking team house. One of their players was like sleeping in the doorway like a fucking dog. Like what the fuck is this shit? So
Korean player, was he? The memes on point. Meme game on point, Rich.
Oh, Pinoy. Rest in peace. So, this guy is a legendary fuck up. Like Crepo was saying, he was like a fucking glorified water boy, all of this shit. Like, so you can imagine what was going on with the CS team. Like, this guy knows even less about CS and how to work with the players and shit than he does fucking League. And that's saying something. He doesn't even know, 5 players, 5 beds. That's how fucking good this guy is. Can you count to 5? Nah. Right, brilliant. Run a team. Run an org. Brilliant. So, obviously, that's got to be one of the biggest NA disappointments, because that could have gone somewhere. But just a combination of, being in this shit environment, shit management, team just slowly fucking being chipped away and eroded, constant weird roster changes, players going out the door, being replaced to players of lesser quality. The Winter Fox story is a fucking disgrace. And also keep in mind, Winter Fox obviously only exists because it used to be EG and they had to rebrand because of that GGA thing. This is like a licensed franchise from competent people who now work for fucking Twitch. So yeah,
I've got another one for you.
Yeah, go on.
So I'm going to go for day 2 of MLG Aspen. Because if you remember, on day 1, all the NA upsets happened. CLG beat a best team in the world, well, one of the best teams in the world, Envious, at the time LDLC on Dust 2.
Yeah.
Cloud9 beat NIP on Nuke, like a fucking NIP map. You had these crazy upsets. And then day 2, I think it was day 2. Maybe it was still day 1. I don't fucking know. But anyway, none of the NA teams made it into the playoffs. So everyone who had the advantage and got just fucked it up on the way out. And Europe rightfully took its place.
Just imagine that happening in esports. Who saw that coming, right? That's never happened in any other game. So okay, right. So I think we had two more. What was the one we said we were gonna do one? Fuck, I can't remember what it was now. But I didn't write it down. Can't remember, and I said we're definitely gonna do that. Come on, Duncan, help me out, man. It was after work. It was after the worst roster change, biggest NA disappointment,
biggest choke of the year.
Don't bother.
Because actually, the real one, by the way, would be Device in the semi-finals of Face It Stage 3 against Luminosity. But that's...
Whoa. What about Kenny S in the final of Cologne?
Yeah, but the thing is, for the whole series, Device went like -24 or something insane, and his team only lost 16-14 on the last map. Something insane like that, Rich. Like, it was one of the worst individual chokes I think I've ever seen. Kenny S, it's true, was terrible on that Cobblestone game, but I don't think it's as egregious as that. Obviously, the stage is different.
Okay. That I remembered it. It was biggest joke. It was just biggest joke.
Who is the biggest joke of the... I feel like we've used a lot of those on Sneakiest cunt of the year. It wasn't even called Sneakiest cunt, but it's now.
What a James one. This is where we get to go in on James.
Joke. Yeah, okay.
You talk about players who take fucking paychecks and they're basically fucking deceptive. You know, and
Rich, knock.
Who's there?
GBJames.
GBJames who?
Exactly.
There we go. Thank you. Good. I saw it. I saw it was coming.
I know. There you go.
Delivered. It was good. But like, let's because look, I obviously don't like to talk about what happens behind the scenes at events. But just give me one, because you're not going to get me a Christmas. I bought you a Christmas present, by the way.
All right.
Right. Just saying that. Right. Because you got me that book at the last event, so I got you a Christmas present. But like, I know. Obviously, you haven't thought about me while gift buying, and that makes me sad a little bit. But it's just. That's our working relationship. That's how the package operates. I'm the bitch. You're the butch. I get that. So, do me the favor of just tell the GBJames story from Cluj, please. Please.
You mean when he met you?
No. When you know.
The problem is I'll have to leave out some minor external details. Like I can't explain who brought him over or how he come.
Done. Just tell the story about how he tried to wreck you and you wrecked him. That's all Christmas. Yep.
Came over when there was a group of us sat there in the bar. So we're not even at the event. Like, it's one thing if you're on hours at the event, you know, and you expect to be professional and people can talk to you. Okay, that would be one thing. But for some unknown reason, this guy decided to come over in my off time when I'm no longer required to put up with cunts and come over. And this is his opening gambit. He goes like, oh, like, hey, I'm James. I feel like you're something like, I feel like you've got a lot of the facts wrong about me, which is like, and I think I even just said like, actually, mate, I don't ever think about you. I don't have any facts about you. So see ya. And then he was like, no, but I mean, when you said, you know, I think that I've heard like you said some comments like, you know, maybe I did X, Y, Z. I can't remember what the context of it was. Maybe we said it on this show. And I was like, okay, I mean, do you really want to get into this right now, you know? Because listen, again, I'm in my off time now. Like, you know, I'm trying to just talk with people I enjoy here. But if I have to roast you, if I have to wreck you, I'll do it. So are we getting into this? And he was like, well, yeah, but I mean, some of the facts. I was like, okay, let's go. So what facts are we getting wrong here? Started to list off facts about his own career, you know. Well, I don't think you really know where I came from. I know exactly where you came from, mate. I know you're in this team in 2001, then 2002, you're in this one. I noticed in 2005, 2006, you sort of conveniently missed that out. You started saying you were in these other teams again. Oh, what do you mean, though? I wasn't in those teams there. Well, were you in those teams, though? I mean, tell me which team you were in. Okay, well, I was in this team right now. Nah, you weren't actually in that team. You were in another one at that point in time. Plus, you really exaggerated like the level that team was at and the good players in it. Well, no. I mean, again, you haven't really followed my career. Actually, I know more about your own career than you do, mate. So, I mean, listen, I'm doing this for fun. I'm straight cooking this fag. So that's all that's all I'm doing right now. So then he just goes, oh, well, you know, in 2010, I was in this team. I was like, you weren't in that team in 2010 because that organization actually didn't exist anymore. They'd already converted over to another team. And he goes, no, I wasn't that team in 2010. I go, tell you what, you got a phone, get it out, put up Google, start searching, see if you can find what team you're in. He's sat there next 15 minutes just scrolling, refresh, fast forward, scrolling. And I'm like, Every now and then, we just continued the conversation, the rest of us who weren't cunts. And then every now and then, I check in, you find anything? You find anything about your own life? Do you find a detail about your own life from 5 years ago? Thought not. Because here's the thing. I know, I told him, you're not even in my top 100 people I'm interested in or have ever put any effort into researching, but I know more about your own life than you do. That's sad. And also, that's the end of this. Like, I mean, I could keep going, but that's the end of this interaction we've had between us. And at the end, he was sort of trying to go like, well, you know, I feel like it'd be very unfair. And I was like, well, don't really give a fuck, mate. So
tell a bit at the end, man, where you had to. Can we say this? That you had to like, because you did did this in front of his boss.
No, this is the best part. So during the conversation, his boss, the owner of Team Liquid, came and sat next to us. So rather than think like, oh, hello there, owner. Anyway, thanks for the conversation, and we'll continue on now. He just kept trying to go because he kept thinking like he was going to turn it around at some point and wreck me. And so when that never happened, it was just getting worse and worse and worse. And the whole time, the boss guy was sort of sat there like, what the fuck's going on here? And at the end, he just said to the boss guy, excuse me, can I talk to you a second? And then they just went and stood about 10 meters away. And he was sort of talking like, no. And listen, listen, I don't know what it looks like, and he could tell he was just desperately trying to like beg for his job. Like, please, I'm not actually this retarded. Please. And that's about it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Duncan. Seriously. Oh, that's the greatest gift I've ever had. Brilliant. Anyway, yeah, it was fucking brilliant. Duncan roasted this motherfucker. It was so funny. And like I say, literally, just the best part about it. Because didn't he say something like, where were you in 2003? And you were like, well, I was doing this. And you were like, where were you? And you said, well, I was playing for this team. And then you're like, no, you weren't. It's fucking wrecked. Like, it was so good. Anyway.
You missed the killer line there. Is that when he said that line to me, where were you? Yeah. What I didn't realize is I thought he was really asking what my credentials were. I thought that was what he was doing, right? But actually, here's the thing. He thought he was going to stump me because since he's a cretin who doesn't remember his own life, he actually thought I would go, I don't know what I was doing. So instead, I just said, well, in 2003, I worked for a site called gamers.nu. And then I actually left that site. I started working with Team 3D, eventually transitioned the next year to work with the SEA. And he just said, yeah, but you know what? I have a friend, and if he doesn't know something, he'll just like give a convincing answer. And since you just can't really check it, you're probably just gonna like have to take his word for it. And then he never has to admit he's wrong. And I just said two things. One, you still got that phone in your hand. Look up any of the stuff I just said. Two, that you're making this mistake because you don't remember your own fucking insignificant life. I remember my life because I was there. I'm not retarded, and I remember your life. So game over. And they basically he was just wrecked again. Every time he tried to like pull a trap card on me, it's just like I ultra wrecked him 10 times harder. And the whole thing is, I never really remember at any point in this conversation, I never engaged him. I never tried to wreck him. I never did anything. What I did is I just used like mad judo skills where when he would come to me, I'd use his own body weight against him to wreck him.
And of course, there's no coincidence between that reckoning happening and him going on Twitter and talking about how, the analysis desk, what do they know? Thorin and Richard don't know anything.
Luckily, he did it at an event where his team went 0-16, or starting on the dominant side of a map.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, he sure showed us.
Yeah, no, he showed us, mate. He really showed us.
Sure showed us. I did get some criticism.
And then he walked the walk like fucking Stephen Hawking.
There's a retard in chat who's been spamming the same thing for like.
Yeah, to narrow it down a bit more, Rich.
Yeah, no, but like Baron, by the way, Baron BTW or something. Guy's been spamming the same thing over and over again. Like, I fuck knows what's wrong with his life. Like, I hope his carer takes him away very soon.
GBJames alt account.
Probably wouldn't surprise me. Anyway, he's been spamming like where are all these other awards like best AWP, best entry fragment. It's meant to be kind of a bit of fun, bit of an alternative award thing. What I will say is he's got a point. We should have talked about best in-game leader.
Okay, so here's the problem. Let's get edgy. So people are going to lose their shit when I say this. Are you ready, Rich? I know. You've also forgotten, but I'll bring a player. Okay. Here's who I'm going to pick, and I don't give a fuck what any of you motherfuckers say. Best in-game leader of 2015 was Fallen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Look at what the fuck he had to work with at the beginning of the year. The guy repeatedly took maps of top European teams, made them top 8 of every major, 2 of those without, in fact, all 3 of them without the sick lineup that he got at the end of the year. So he was working with scraps. He made miracles. He literally built the whole scene up, built his team up, built a second team up, which he can then farm fucking players from. And then at the end, made it the most crazy roster move you could ever imagine, bringing those players in. And then somehow finished fucking second at one of the biggest events of the year. That's unreal.
Yeah, I mean, I Fallen would definitely make my list. I might be inclined to put him as second, because obviously I'd say Pronax is kind of the obvious choice, but like you're right, like Pronax as being the first choice is almost diminished by the fact that he had better tools to work with. He was in an existing organization, but it's almost like I don't know the kind of success of that Fnatic team maybe makes it's probably the easy pick, but like definitely the outlier is Fallen, and I said this. At the end of the DreamHack Winter broadcast, like he's got to be considered one of the great in-game leaders now. He's got to. The
problem is, to give you an analogy, there are teams who have won the NBA championship. So a famous example, would be the Phil Jackson teams, the Chicago Bulls and the LA Lakers. Yeah. The teams that you won the championship with all had someone playing as a point guard who was just like an okay guard. And the idea was the other players were the star players in the team. So you can be one of the greatest teams of all time. You can win the NBA championship, yet a vital position like point guard might not even vaguely be one of the best. Like none of his point guards would ever be point guard of the year. So I'd kind of use the same analogy for Pronax. He's a good in-game leader. I like the style that he had. I like some of the strengths that he had. But as a pure in-game leader, the strength of what you can do with what you've been given, the tactics, the reading of the game, I'd overall give it to Fallen for that. Also, the other reason is because the Luminosity team was incredibly smart at playing like scenarios where they had a man advantage. They were phenomenally good at that, considering they had much worse skills than a lot of the teams they were beating in that sense.
For me, definitely those two. Interchange as you see fit. And people can say that Fallen, like some people in the chat going, oh, that's a ballsy pick. It really isn't if you know what you're talking about, if you know like what in-game leaders do typically, and you can't just base it on like finishes, top fours, that kind of thing. You can't. For example, if you were to do that, that might put Exist in with a shout of being like the best in-game leader of the year, and that would be horseshit. That would be fucking gibberish. That would be one of the worst things of all time. Love Richard, great guy, in-game leader. Nah, fuck that noise. He wouldn't deserve that recognition. Same with Happy. Couldn't call him an in-game leader. I might be inclined to maybe talk about Carrigan based on what he did when he first came in the team and how he revolutionized that Danish lineup.
He'd be a nominee, I think. I think we could put him as a nominee.
Yeah, but yeah, for me, Fallen or Pronax, it's got to be one of those.
Actually, to be fair, you make a good case there. Maybe it could be Carrigan, because then you look at the players that were there before. It was an identical team, just with the in-game leader swapped, and the difference between the two was everything.
Night and day. Yeah. So I mean,
Carrigan might be the one. He might edge it, just because, to be fair to Fallen, obviously he didn't have the same results, but. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I think that's a pretty good compromise between the two. I think like results.
Yeah. Just go the other way and just be like, yeah, fuck it, Carrigan. But yeah, he definitely deserves to be on the list. But everyone else, I'm not even bothered about that. So you said I forgot I forgot a category.
The worst fans.
Shit, you're right. I did forget that one. Worst fans of the year. I'm going
to surprise people with this, Rich.
I'm not sure you are.
Suggest one if you want.
Right, well, no, for me, all right, well, okay. Worst fans of the year, fuck.
I don't think you're going to pick the same one as me, that's the thing.
Right, let me... it's a tough one.
Because the problem is, that there's just for us and our experience, there's an obvious one that is just, these people are just cretins, but I have a worse one than even them because it's egregious beyond that level. Like the obvious one for people who watch this show, this isn't who I'd pick to actually win it, by the way. Yeah. The obvious one is Fox fans, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about Fox fans already, but like, I actually think they're such a small...
Yeah, I agree. That's the thing.
Yeah, they're not really... Like, it's like if you've got a very small amount of people who are just super retarded... Like, that's not as bad as like a massive group. Well,
I've got a massive group of utter cretins.
Right, go on then.
Brazilians.
Oof.
Mate, remember, I haven't been involved with a scandal with Brazil this year. Right, you're aware of that. There hasn't been any time.
You say that like it's a badge of honor. Like there's one country in the world I haven't been involved in a scandal in.
My point is, think of the context of this. Yeah. So I haven't done anything to Brazilians. I have had more hate messages this year from Brazilians by a magnitude of 10 times than any of the regions I actually did.
Could you read some examples?
I delete most of them. Most of them aren't even in fucking English, mate. That's how retarded these people are. They think I speak fucking Portuguese. Or that I'm going to put that into Google Translate.
How do you know it's a hate message then?
Because first of all, some of them are in English.
Yeah, that doesn't mean the one that comes in Portuguese is fucking...
What are the odds that after I predict Luminosity will lose a match, they win the match, all the ones in English are like, fuck you, Thorin, you know nothing, die cunt. Then the ones that are in Portuguese, you think I'm going to translate those. They might be saying, actually, I thought it was a really good pick from you, even though I'm obviously...
Yeah, how do you know? How do you know? How do you know?
They're obviously not, mate.
Your own logic, mate. Your own logic.
Because for a start off, I've seen Fox fans, they all said corral whore, whatever the fuck that means. It means like to fuck the ass or something. I don't know.
Does it?
You can't fight me on this one, Richard. They're retards.
All right. Okay, go on then. Go just do your thing.
Also, I happen to know some contextual stuff that people in esports won't know, which is in actual sports, Brazilian fans are notoriously terrible fans. Like, they're really good at cheering their sportsmen on. But to give you an example, so recently, a fighter called Conor McGregor fought a top Brazilian fighter. When he was at the weigh-ins, all the Brazilians chanted in Portuguese, "You will die." Now, they didn't say you'll lose the fight, but they said you will die. Now, Richard, remember the things that I said that are supposedly deemed super racist about Poland? Like, I didn't like the country, I'd heard about racism, etc. These people were saying you will die as an entire crowd. And that's just for a fun fight. That's not a war or a civil uprising or whatever. Likewise, when Brazilian fans were at Brazilian events for the UFC and they had American fighters go there, if the American fighter won, they would all chant in unison, like a football chant, "You are a faggot" in Brazilian. Portuguese, actually. That's real, by the way. That's not made up. The whole crowd.
To who?
The fighter who won. The American fighter, if he won.
Oh, right.
As in, that was... By the way, that's not to an American fighter. To all of them. If an American dared to beat a Brazilian, they would shout, "You are a faggot" to him in
Is it still Maricon in Portuguese?
I don't know, mate.
Is it still Maricon?
Who knows?
I don't know. There'll be a Brazilian in the chat or a Portuguese guy. They could tell me. But is it Maricon or Mariconas or something? It must be, right? Anyway, I get your point. Like, they're pretty bad. I wouldn't have picked them though. I like to use the term passionate when I think about Brazilian fans. There's got to be worse, dog. There has to be. There's got to be. Yeah, I know Maricon is Spanish, you motherfuckers. That's what I'm asking. Is that Portuguese?
You failed, because I know in your mind you're thinking, come on, NA must be up there. No, even in terms of having annoying fans, NA really underwhelms. They've got all the resources. They've got the number of people in the country, the population size. They don't put in the effort. They don't put in the work to go to a Facebook page and spam it. They just make a mild, weak little comment that doesn't even work on Twitter, and then you ignore it. They don't even have the heart and dedication and the actual, like, the quality of spirit and character like the Brazilian people do to be the worst fans.
Okay. Apparently it's Viado, I think. So okay. I learned something new today. That's good. I don't know, right? Let me just assess. I'm trying to think which fans fucking triggered me the hardest this year. Seeing CSGO, like, I've never really encountered that level of, like, irrationality. Like, League all the time. Dota all the time. Never Counterstrike, really.
I'm not exaggerating, Rich. When Luminosity won all those games where we predicted they'd lose at Face It Stage 3 because they were miracle wins.
Yeah.
The total amount of Facebook messages I got it wasn't as many as after the Poland thing, but it was like maybe half. Remember, again, all I did is predict they'd lose the game. People sending messages, posting on the wall, posting comments in other videos and stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That is a bit OTT.
And by the way, the difference is in that scenario, I already knew about what people are like in that sense, and I know they're just idiot fans, so I don't really take anything personally. It's not like when Polish people actually said they would slit my throat and wanted to know where I lived and that sort of stuff. That's a bit different in that scenario, but it was...
Don't forget the rape threats you had, Duncan. Could have got your meeting with the UN.
I could have.
Yeah, you were a victim of rape threats.
All I should do, Rich, is just go transgender. Then I win. Then I can get Poland fucked, mate. I'm going to do it.
Oh.
I'll say they did it just because they knew I was thinking about going transgender. Maybe that's my and then I'll say, yes, I won't hire me because I'm transgender.
Do it. Just do it. At this stage, what does it matter? You said it now. You said it now, Doug.
Everything else about my future in just to win this war of attrition.
Jesus. All right.
Edgy enough?
Mate, the edge is too much, man. It's just too much. Anyway, I can't think of an experience I've had in CSGO that's akin to that. You know, like the thing is, cause I've got like individual fans who will just go to the ends of the earth, like anything I do, like they're there. You know, like I talk about them. You got guys like Woot fucking 67, or some like guy called like Nevermore 44.
Richard,
these guys there year after year. Go on, do your thing.
Here's the other reason why it'd be worth me going transgender, because then everyone next year would have to vote me one of the most important people for saying that I was the first woman to break through as a really elite level analyst. Edgy enough? Triggered at all?
Fucking hell. I don't know how we got onto this from Brazilian fans. They do a high amount of transgender surgery there. It's one of the leading countries, I think, if I remember right. Funnily enough, so is Iran, if you can believe that.
Okay.
Thailand and Iran, I think, are the two leading ones. I don't know why we're talking about this on this show, but it's true. Even though Iran has this like devout Sharia law there, a transgendered activist actually went and proved back when the Ayatollah Khomeini was still in that because it wasn't in the Quran, there was no need to be prejudiced against it. So, true story. Anyway, can we end on an award? Can we just make one up quickly so we're not ending on hatred of Brazil and you possibly being a transgender in 2016? I just want to move away from that and just end on a different note, if that's okay. Right. So, like a lot of people are saying, why haven't you picked worst player? I mean, like you can't really pick out worst pro, really. I think that's a bit. Yeah, it's hard, but it's like also if you're a pro level, you know, there's like players who are like just on the periphery that are obviously worse than the person we'd pick as being the worst. So,
plus Freiburg might get upset.
Or Hunden.
I mean, Hunden did his best. Plus, here's the thing, Rich. I imagine Hunden probably, when he realised how bad he was, just like took the game a little bit less seriously. Apparently, Freiburg was like practicing all that time by himself. Yeah. You know, practice makes perfect, Rich.
It did.
So they say.
Let's
I present to you Exhibit A.
Let's just do. I don't know, just some fucking generic.
Okay.
Award for like I don't know, personality or, as I called it, edgy cunt or something. Because like, obviously, if we're gonna do best analyst, like you're gonna sit there like, who are you gonna pick, Rich? You know, it's Thorin, and it's just gonna be shit. So we can't do that. But let's pick a personality and then get the fuck out of here.
Personality.
Best personality. Yeah. And I'm guessing we can't nominate each other.
Yep. Because there was a lot of really great personalities this year, and it's so hard to choose between them. I'm just going to say not Parler. My choice is not Parler. So as long as you pick anyone not Parler, you're in with a chance of it being right.
Oh, that's a point, you know. Back for worst fans of the year, Virtus Pro fans would have had a fucking shout because they booed Olofmeister during that interview.
True.
Yeah, and you're not like you're going to ever fucking,
You know what's sad, Rich? Forget the NA fans. I didn't even say NIP fans.
Yeah, I know. NIP fans aren't all that bad by comparison.
Actually, yeah. No. Wait a second. I've done the classic mistake, Rich. I've done exactly what we complained about. All the Brazilian stuff was only in the last 2 months. NIP fans obviously win hands down. Because here's the difference. Remember, NIP in all of 2015 won one trophy, and that was with Makalele, which was Asus ROG Winter. They won one trophy, yet for the entire 12-month span, day on day, morons with NIP shirts on, eating NIP chocolate, messaged me telling me NIP were the best team and that Fnatic were overrated, were going to fall off, and NIP would win the next tournament. That's the level of stupidity. The level of stupidity of NIP fans in 2015 was 87-0-esque.
I like it, mate. All right, there we go. We worked that in. But yeah, so for me,
yeah,
best personality.
Okay.
You know, you probably's got to give it to someone like fucking Anders, haven't you? Unfortunately.
Yeah, you probably do. And here's the proud thing about Anders, okay? He's the sort of guy where you almost do want to dislike him because he's just so good at his job. Everyone, like, he has a lot of moron fans. Everyone likes him. But here's the problem. He's actually legitimately exactly as nice as he seems and a really cool guy. And actually has a sense of humor that unfortunately he can't show on air. That's wicked. Yeah, there's nothing you can say about it. Put it this way, anyone I've ever met in esports who had bad things to say about Anders, that was always a massive red flag that they were a humongous cunt.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Like, you think about all the people who were just shitting on Anders, and you're like, wait a minute. Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, I want to give a shout out to Don Semler. You have to. You have to give him his 10%, right?
Yeah, he's pretty
Don
good.
Semler. Nah, he's a legend. Love working with that guy. And DDK for me, who was emerged from his...
Steady on.
Listen. I'll tell you why. Because I actually think... just based on sort of how he represents himself, amount of time.
He uses this in the most abstract sense of personality here, Rich.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is the thing. I think he almost comes across sometimes as this vacuum. The human vacuum, like the personality's not there. But having worked with him and like knowing what he does behind the scenes and how hard he works, like I'll get messages from this guy at like 3 a.m. like, you know, and it'll be like, oh, I've read this book and it's about this thing, and it'll be, I don't know, like neuro-linguistic fucking programming and how he's trying to assimilate it into casting, which of course you probably can't or whatever, but he's going to try anyway. And then like he'll ask me if I've got any books or any recommendations. And like the guy's just constantly working hard to fucking improve and be like better at his job.
Oh, I'll give him that, yeah. On that level, I'll give him the credit. He does work very hard.
Yeah, mate, it works harder than I think a lot of us do. Like, I mean, you know, I'll be honest, I phone it in. You know, like I don't work. Like, you know, I'll put a bit of work in for hosting a show like this or whatever. But generally, it is just turn up, sit down, and talk shit. You know, but Dan's always working really, really hard to improve himself. You know, body and mind. He's one of those guys. He's a bit like Rob Lowe's character in fucking Parks and Recreation. You know, he's a bit like that. So yeah, he's in with a shout, and obviously we had a great time when we roomed together at DreamHack Summer, I think it was. We had a great time, and that's a story I can never tell. But yeah, seeing DDK naked in the middle of the night, always fun. So that would be my choice. But yeah, hands down, I think we have to give it to Anders. He's already been honoured this year. Great ambassador for the game, great guy. And he's probably going to do things in 2016. So there you go. So I think that's all the awards. Did you have any you wanted to just add at the end?
Man of the Year, Mr. Alphadraft.
I like it, mate.
Sell out enough? Sell out
enough?
That's it.
Yeah, but actually, I'd like to award the Alphadraft. I'd like to give the Alphadraft award for best fantasy betting platform to Alphadraft. Who
well deserved.
Yeah, well deserved. The reasons they win this award, I mean, apart from the fact that they've somehow circumnavigated all that crazy shit that's going on in like America right now with all the legal challenges towards them, obviously on appeal, it's still dictated now.
I follow that more closely than I follow like starving children in Africa, like war in the Middle East. I care more about that being resolved carefully. I just want some. Yep. Can't we all just come together and just agree this the right way? I need my Skrilla.
Yeah, exactly. So, but as I said, they win this award not just for providing the definitive esports fantasy betting platform, but also as well sponsoring some of the finest content creators in the scene.
The finest, in my opinion.
Yeah, and never interfering, never getting too big for their boots and/or britches. And always deferring to the wisdom of the people that they give Skrilla, as you call it, to. So they're definitely going to win that award. And I imagine if we're doing this time next year, I think they're in with a good shout for the Alphadraft award as well next year. I think that's how good they are. So they're just that good. So I think we can end the show there.
Maybe next year it'll be like a 7 Star Wars movie. We'll just do it all again, and cretins will say it was just as good.
Yeah, and why not, mate? Why not? Edgy. I like that. That's pretty edgy. Do you want to go full edge and just drop a spoiler at the end? Go on.
It's just such a predictable movie. There's not really a need for a spoiler, is there?
That's even better.
Spoiler is at the end. If you thought it was a really good movie, you probably... I mean, yeah, you're basically one bullet away from solving the problem. There we go. That's the edgy spoiler for you.
I like it, mate. So, look, Duncan, you won the award in my heart for co-host of the year. I just want to say that. It's been great working with you in 2015. Maybe we get to do it some more in 2016. I have a lot of people on Twitter tell me my career's over, so I probably not. Probably never work with you again. Sad. So, end of an era, some might say.
See, they say that, but here's the problem, Rich. Most of the people who say that, let's be real, it's very unlikely most of them come from America, etc. So I'm just going to go ahead and drop a little bomb at the end of the year for you guys. Richard makes more in a month than your dad makes in an entire year. Suck a dick.
Thanks for saying it. I never could.
It's true, right?
No, it is true. I do make 6 Grilla. Just because I live in poverty doesn't mean I'm like you, man. I'm like you. You're there with the coat and the scarf, saving that money. We're saving it for the nest egg. So like in 10 years, we can get out of this fucking game and we can actually retire, buy our own private island and everything else. So that's going to be good. And Sam, are you there, Sam?
Of course, always.
Good. You're producer of the year, mate. Well done.
Am I though?
Nah, you shit, mate. But it's just we're having a bit of a love-in at the end of the show. And obviously the viewers, not all of you, because some of you are fucking idiots, but most of you, definitely, maybe most of you, 50% of you, 50% of you are great. You're the best viewers in 2015, and we want to thank you for that.
And if you'll just look under your chairs, you'll find semi-automatic machine guns, and we just need you as an act of fealty to kill the other 50%, and then we can have utopia. It's
that, or I don't know, if you're not willing to do that, just turn the gun on yourself. So
let's just end on that note.
Yeah. So, happy 2015. Merry fucking Christmas. We'll see you next time on By the Numbers. Peace the fuck out.